Hi, welcome to the podcast, the Vaguely Anime Podcast, to be precise. I am one of the hosts, Michael, and this is our anime club, talking about Spice and Wolf. Hey, Sage, how you doing?
I'm alright. I just spent way too much money on furniture.
I'm about to do that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Or you guys will all come over and you'll just have to sit on the floor, and we'll eat.
Do what
that'd be kind of fun.
bagged ramen.
do what I've been doing and just having one folding chair that you have to move from room to room.
Yeah.
To be like, all right, I want to sit here now. You
I-
pick it up and then you
Just
move
so
to
you
the
know,
next area.
A lot of you
that's
will
real
be
life.
on camping chairs for some amount of
Yeah,
time.
I have,
but they're
I
comfy.
have a
Yeah, I was about to say
I have
that's
a metal
okay.
Yeah.
folding
That's
chair
what
and
I did in Texas. I just
and
bought
like an
camping chairs.
outdoor lawn chair folding one
You know,
in
my
my
parents,
dining area.
My parents have offered you these couches, Mike.
I am not gonna take these couches.
Your
They're free
mom also
couches.
tried to get me to take these couches.
Hey,
I mean,
Kat, how you
they're
doing?
offering it to anyone. Anybody want a
Good.
couch?
Got back from business trip.
Oh yeah, how was that?
Business.
Yeah. Did they find out that you still do work?
I don't know what that means.
Because
is
you were
that?
worried that they were gonna realize
That was
you
a
don't
weird
do any work.
implication.
No, I do work. It was just that it's holiday time, so we've like slowed down. So I was worried that they were going to be upset that like I actually have time to breathe now instead
Right.
of drowning. Not that I'm not doing work. I still have work, but I found out that they all don't do work.
Oh, so
so-
you're fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
So technically,
Nice.
you're doing
Yeah.
more work than them.
Oh yeah, I'm giving
Yeah.
like 150%. They're giving me like 20.
There you go.
Nice.
20%.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, welcome
Anthony,
to
how you
the
doing?
working
Hey, Mike, I'm
world.
good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
It's doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I recently found out that that Branchburg, New Jersey exists, and boy howdy is it a shithole.
Yeah.
Where is
Yeah.
this?
So this is a town that's next to a very nice town called Somerville.
Oh,
And I
yeah,
had to go down
Somerville
there.
looked Nice.
Yeah, Somerville's beautiful. I had to go down there for work, and it's about an hour for me. And I had to leave at 6 in the morning. So here I was getting like highway hypnosis on the fucking road, listening to like shitty ass music, just going down, like drifting over to the side, and then realizing that I have to like, be alive for the shoot that I have later for today.
Yeah.
So or later that day.
No, just do what I do. Fall asleep at the wheel. Let fate take your chances.
Like
Yeah,
Jesus
you ever
take
just
the
wake
wheel.
up and be like, oh shit, I'm here. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
like
Yeah.
all right.
Get out of your car and you just see a
Dude,
map
one
of
time
devastation
I
behind
did
you.
that. Like one night we were recording here. Like I left and I blinked and then I was here.
No,
And I was like, how the fuck did I
I've
get
done that
here?
a few times.
You
Like,
drive on the highway, fully fall asleep, and then have like the side rudders wake you up.
Yeah, as you do.
They're there for a reason.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Yeah.
to wake you up.
I already
Hey,
have
Colin,
enough
how you
driving
doing?
anxiety.
Yes.
Like
This is the longest intro we've had.
I'm just thinking about how each one of you is gonna die of some kind of car-related.
You've never
incident.
A billion
once
%.
just like autopiloted somewhere.
No.
Never in your life. You've never
But
been.
you
dri-
don't-
Yeah.
You've
You
never
don't
been driving
autopilot
and
to
been like,
work?
oh,
Auto-
shit,
I
I'm
auto- yeah, I
still-
autopilot to work.
Autopilot is
Okay.
very
That's not
different
that's not
than
falling asleep.
falling asleep
yeah,
at
no,
the
I'm not talking
wheel.
about
Thank you, Kat.
Which is
Thank
what
you, Kat.
Sage is
what you're
saying.
conscious for,
Well,
first
yeah,
of all.
I'm
I was,
conscious when I auto-
joking about that.
Yeah.
I'm conscious when I
Sage was
autopilot.
not.
No,
down
yeah,
the
I
road.
100% did that.
I mean,
Driving from North Carolina to Cornell, left North Carolina at midnight, and then I was driving. I was like somewhere in the bumfuck of Virginia. Fell asleep at the wheel at like 6 in the morning, and then I woke up and my car was in the median. And then some lady was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I didn't die, so I guess I'm fine."
Oh my
I mean, I fell
God.
asleep at the wheel once, and I woke up when I hit the fucking guardrail, and that was in the Durango. I don't
See,
remember.
that's what they're there for.
Did you ever? Were you ever around?
No.
When I was in the Durango. So I guess none of you were. There was like the arches over the wheel because there was the car had like the design was over the wheel wells. There was like a slight silver part of the car that was like a bit further out.
Like a fender.
Yeah, basically. But it was like really thin. It wasn't a lot.
Right.
It was just like an accent, and it hit that and. In the back of the front tire and then the front of the back tire, those two were just shredded off. And,
Oh
and it was just like a
God.
burn thing. It wasn't even that noticeable. I just happened to be able to pull back, and then I got back in the road. I was like, oh, all right.
all right.
just kept
God
going.
almighty,
Yeah, I
no
fell
way.
asleep at the wheel on my way to, where was it? Somewhere near Buffalo when I was like 16 or 17 with my dad in the car. And then he was like, I guess I'm driving the whole way.
One day, the only friend
Yeah.
I'm going to have left is Eamon because he's the only one who's not going to get in a car accident.
Because he
I mean,
he
he'll
doesn't
get
drive.
in a car
Yeah.
accident, but it won't be at his own hands.
Oh.
Yeah. Look,
Less
I've only
likely.
fallen asleep once, but like I've autopiloted many a time.
Oh,
like,
no,
coming
no,
back from
absolutely
the
have
dock,
autopiloted.
I used to autopilot all the time. It would be
I'm-
at that at the four-way stop sign by the mall,
Mm-hmm.
like that four-way stop where everybody fucking crashes somehow, but it's been there for like 100
Yeah,
years.
it's almost like nobody reads and nobody allows anybody else to do the correct thing, so everyone's constantly up
I've
each
seen
other's
so many
asses.
accents there, but like that stop. Oh, every time I would get there, or it would be right after, and I'd be like, "Oh, I'm driving. I don't remember going through that stop."
Oh, I'm driving.
Yeah, like I'd be like, I'd like look in the rearview mirror and be like, "All right, well, there's no accident, so I guess I didn't do
Jesus
anything."
Christ.
It's okay. When I was
There wasn't a trail of destruction in my wake, so I guess I'm fine. Yeah.
when I was a kid, before I was like big enough to sit in the front seat, my mom would always forget I was in the car. So if she was ever
Nice.
taking me somewhere,
Awesome.
she would forget and just keep going past wherever I needed to be. And I'd be like, "Can you turn around?" She's like, "When did you get here?" I'm like, "What do you mean? What do you mean when
Been
did
here
I
the
get
whole
here?"
time.
Disappear here. Obviously.
You think I
I
just like
teleported into the
evaporated
fucking
into the
backseat, I
car? If I
guess,
could
yeah.
do that, I wouldn't need a ride.
Anyway, this is all
Give me-
really long correlation to say that we travel a lot, just like in the anime Spice and Wolf.
I'm
Wow,
over
that was
this.
a terrible
I'm over it
transition.
That was
already.
awful.
Keep talking
Over it
about
That was
already.
pretty good.
Give
driving.
me,
Yeah,
give me
we'll
3
never talk
months.
about
I'm gonna
Spice and Wolf.
autopilot
goodbye.
back to this house 10 times
sure you
minimum in
will.
the next.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah, no doubt.
Anyway, I thought that was pretty all right tangent. It
I
could have been worse.
I had a better one in my head.
All right, what was yours?
Transition.
What was yours?
It's too late. It's dead now. You just have to take my word that it was better.
No.
Okay, but do you mean
Such an
transition and not
asshole. Love
tangent?
that.
Sure. No, but I mean both work.
No, because you're saying like.
Anyway,
All right.
so we're gonna be talking about Spice and Wolf.
This is
Sure
a
are.
dictatorship here,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Michael.
kind of.
Uh,
is.
so
You
No
squint
one's
real
allowed
close
to
so you can
say
see that Mike is actually Mussolini.
doesn't
It's
like-
fine.
it's true.
You squint real close. You can see he has a mustache, but just under there.
You have to get real close. Magnifying glass.
Yeah,
for
Mike
you.
makes
hides it
all the
with the
decisions,
schnoz.
guys.
Anyway, so I guess we'll go around just doing what is it like for like 20-ish minutes of non-spoiler generic review, and then after
13
that,
minutes left
spoilers.
of the first 20
Non-spoiler. I look at Anthony and also at a mirror.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, what is it? Is it the person to the left of the person that picked it?
Every time.
you're
Every time. It's always the person to the left.
Cool, Sage, you're first.
All right.
Non-spoiler generic thoughts.
Non-spoiler generic thought. I think if they spent 50% more time on the characters and 25% less time on money aspects and profit and silver coins and gold Lumion coins and how much does this translate to this amount of money, I think this show would have been much better. But when they were talking about like the trading and the money and math, I was like, my brain is numb. Like and the worst part was like I was really paying attention. Like I was trying really hard to be like, yes, I understand. Like you're a merchant. This is how you live. Like, you know, I understand the whole trade concept. But they just talked about it so much in such detail. I was like, I need to leave.
That's surprisingly why I like it.
Ugh.
Like I went into that show initially being like, oh god, trading. Like,
No,
fuck,
I
this is
think-
gonna be lame as hell, and then
I
it made me care.
And I think trading is interesting, but they did it in a lame as hell way. Because I was like, boy, howdy, do I not care how many Trini Silver that is in terms of Lumio gold. Like,
Yeah. Why didn't Margot Robbie show up in a bathtub and explain to me how much Lumion gold coins were worth in comparison to Trenny silver
Oh,
coins?
Like-
shit. I would have cared so much
Come
more.
on,
I
yeah,
would have
yeah,
cared so
right.
much more.
And the
That's
other,
what Holo's there for.
That's a big short
and that's the whole
reference.
thing is like, there was, in my opinion, I felt like with Holo as a character, she just like had such like whiplash of how they were writing her. Like one episode, she would be like extremely smart, like super knowledgeable about humans and trading and like helping Lawrence like better his profits and all this jazz. And then like an episode later, she'd be like dumber than a bag of rocks and be like, "Wow, I can't believe you got this trade. You're so smart." And I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Hello?
And like, I'm like, what is happening here? Like, you can't just tell me she's a genius, and then the next time I see her, she literally like cannot process basic math. That doesn't make sense. Like, she is at times so knowledgeable about humans and how they act, right? Of like years and years of wisdom and like viewing humans and all this jazz. And then other times she acts like she's never seen one in her life.
Well, I think I always looked at it on. It depends on the scenario that she's around, the things that she has witnessed versus the things that she hasn't witnessed.
No, because there was times that he would be trading or doing something, and they would write her that she would be like, "Oh, you did that because X, Y, and Z," and then other times she's like, "I don't get it.
Yeah.
I cannot compute."
Like,
So-
does not compute.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand basic, like,
So
supply and
it's
demand.
not the fact of, oh, well, she hasn't seen this. It's the fact of, is she smart or is she dumb?
Yeah, because a lot of it was just, like, basic principles of knowledge that they show her either understanding to, like, an extreme level.
And they made her dumber, like, later in
Well,
the show.
I-
which
Yeah,
was
she
kind
gets
of
dumber
weird.
as they
I
go.
feel like it starts off as like she didn't really understand the point of money, so he like kind of goes through it, and then it starts getting to like more like complex or different versions of the trading. Like she starts getting the money thing, and then she starts understanding that, and then he starts buying stuff on credit, and she's like, "What the fuck does that mean?" And then he starts buying on like on loan or whatever the fuck it's called, like the other thing where it's like it's on the other person's credit, but he's the one that has the money, and she's like, "What the fuck does that mean?" And so like it's just different steps of like trading that she doesn't then
No,
get and
'cause
has
I
to
didn't-
learn about.
I didn't find that was the stuff that she was really confused on. Like,
And a lot of the times, like, she didn't even ask. He would just start explaining it.
he was mansplaining.
No, not even that, but it was like, it felt like this thing of, like, this obvious, like, Holo is the audience who doesn't know about trading, you know? So he's just feeding her that information. Because if I was him, I would be like, don't worry about it. you don't
No,
need
but
to know.
instead, you know,
Well,
he
no,
just
'cause they-
mansplains to her
because
for
he
the entire
he wants her to
fucking show.
understand,
It's
because
fine.
then she also helps him out through her own shit.
In midway, and then they make her fucking useless again later.
No. She does one thing in the beginning, and then midway she's useful, and then at the end.
She's nothing.
And there's this constant thing of, like, them having two separate plans of how to make money. And then Lawrence, of course, gets betrayed by every human in this world. And then she's like, you went against my plan. And it's like, you didn't tell him what the plan was. How would he go along with it? Like, you have two separate plans that you didn't communicate to each other. Obviously, it's not going to work out.
Anyway, Kat, what are your
Um,
thoughts?
So Mike was right, and I don't say that lightly because he's usually wrong on most things. But I did, in fact, hate this show.
It's almost like I knew that what shows you do like and don't like.
Yeah, I thought it was boring as shit. And I like the characters. I like the shepherd girl. I thought she was.
I thought she was cute.
Her and her dog are great.
I know, yeah. I
and,
thought they
and
were
I
cute.
liked,
They were my
what
favorite.
was the, like, witchy kind of lady?
Oh yeah, I liked her too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
she was good.
Deanna.
Sure.
Sure.
Could be.
Fucking Deanna. Okay, whatever. It's fine.
Deanna.
But you know, the
Deanna.
people I was supposed to care about didn't give two shits about. I thought that Holo was really annoying and conceited, and the whole time she just, I have such a beautiful tail, my beautiful tail. Oh, my tail, and I'm so wise, and that was it. That was her whole character. And then sometimes she would help, but mostly she was stupid, and I was supposed to care about him, and I didn't. Like, I don't know why they wrote it like that, because there were certain times that I felt like it was going well, and I was like, all right. So like when they're running from the church, like that was probably, I would say, like the best part of the show, because they were like, it was written better than the rest, and then they just ditched it, and then like they're like, all right, we're good now.
The end of season 1.
Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
what it is. And then it was just boring. And usually if they're gonna get a season 2, you would think that they would be like, all right, let's write some interesting things.
No, it's season 2 is a repeat of season 1. As far as, like, things that happen.
And then they ditched the shepherd girl. I was like, oh, the only character I liked. There she goes. But they did bring the
I was
witchy
surprised
one.
she didn't betray them. I was like,
No,
she's
because she's
gotta
the
have
only
it.
good one. That's why she
She's
did it.
indifferent.
But yeah, no, I guess that's my whole opinion. That's kind
Anthony?
of it.
Oh boy. So I thought this show, I liked one thing about
Is it the shepherd girl?
it was not the shepherd girl. I liked the characters, and that was pretty much it. I thought this show was so fucking boring that I fell asleep while watching it multiple times. I'm
you
sorry.
think
Mike.
you pick a classic anime that everybody loves, and you're like, this will be fine.
Be sure
and
to
nobody here liked it.
Is this
Be
a
sure to
classic
zoom in
anime?
on
your
Everybody
eyes.
loves- Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's slaughtered as like one of the like greatest classics.
Is
Is it really?
Is it? No, it's not.
100%.
No, it's
Well-
not.
100%.
Oh,
Spice and Wolf
Says who?
is.
Says who?
I mean, you can just look at its rankings.
I mean, yeah, but I don't think it's
I think it has like an
that-
8.2 on my anime list. or
Most
something.
people really, really like Spice and Wolf. It's usually
what it
considered
is?
like some people's classic like favorites.
It's got to be people rating it like a 10 because they really like it because of, they like history or trading or whatever it is. And then people giving it like a 5. And then so it's evening out.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah,
You know what I
right.
think
It
it's
is,
got to be what it is.
Because when it was this came out, like 2008, a little bit
Yeah,
before
2008, 2009.
that. So I think if I had watched this show in 2008, I think I would agree that this is a very good show.
I wouldn't.
I would not. No.
No, because
mean,
I would not
I watched
understand it.
in,
First of
in
all,
I watched it for the first
2008,
time in,
I
like,
was
2 years
what,
ago.
11 years old and an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
again,
so what do you hate it
yeah. So
more?
I would hate it
No,
more.
No, I would like it because I'd be like, oh, this is really interesting and like learning something new, but not in like the perspective of like I already understand trading now as an adult. You know what I mean? So like I think I would find it more interesting and I would like the romance more.
You and I have very different
There was, like,
definitions
no
of what we would love
romance.
at 11 years old.
Hey,
I'm
Mike.
just saying.
I just want
Hi.
you to know that I don't know which of these is the more important one, but in my anime list, as far as popularity ranking goes, it is 50 spots behind my next pick.
Get fucked.
Okay.
Just saying.
Yeah, but also my anime list is
Dumb, but
Yeah.
if you're using those kind of arguments, I'm using these kinds
I mean,
of
that's
arguments.
fair. It's from most people that I have talked to about this show that have seen it. Most people most people don't put it in like their top like 5, but they usually will say that like from people that I've
In
talked
top
to.
10?
Yeah, like or that just like that they think it's an absolute classic and like they
Who you
really like
talking
it,
to?
but other things would be what?
Yeah.
Who are you talking to?
Wait, but also
Other,
like,
other friends who have bad takes.
wait,
I
but
wanna
also
know
an
who you're
anime
talking
from
to.
Who are these people, huh?
2008, like could you even call that a classic? I think Code Geass is one of the best anime of all time, but I wouldn't say it's a classic.
I think at this point you could call it a classic. That's like what, 2005?
No, this is also.
I mean, I feel
2008.
like
Isn't there like a
Was it
year
also 2008?
difference?
Mhm.
Isn't it
Oh,
like
okay.
20 years after it's out? It's like that's when you can consider
Like
it
I
a
wouldn't
classic
even
territory.
call Death Note, which is a
Oh,
masterpiece.
Death Note's a classic for sure.
Yeah,
I've
there-
never
there's-
seen
there's
it.
a-
but
there's
like,
a
like
point
it's
where
from
you
what
say-
I've heard.
I've never seen it.
I've
but
never
that's
seen it, but
Death
what
Note.
I've
like,
heard, it's a classic.
people
yeah.
will talk
It
about
do be.
like My Hero or something, be like it's gonna be like the new age classic.
Like an instant classic type deal.
Yeah.
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 I guess.
JoJo's too. I guess you
But-
can make that argument.
I mean, that's since the 80s. That's already a classic.
yeah, yeah.
So like, I mean, I feel like
I
it kind of just
can't
depends. If
see
it's iconic enough,
anybody
it can be.
Talking about
I guess
this.
I
Yeah.
guess that's fair, but I
Sorry.
also
That at
I guess
all.
I just have never seen enough people talk about Spice and Wolf for my own personal vocabulary.
I've never
Like,
even
to- for
heard of
people-
it.
I thought this
at
was
for
more of
all.
a
people
niche
for
one.
me to consider
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
classic
that's
because
what I
I've
thought
never
too.
heard anybody talk about it or give it like the amount of praise that you give it.
Yeah, like, I also-
learned about it
I do-
from
Like I know
I
what it
learned
is
about it
beforehand.
from Mother's Basement.
No, but yeah, but I also
That's how I
exist
learned about it,
heavily in
right.
the anime sphere as you do, and like the only time I'd ever see people talk about Spice and Wolf is
hentai.
not
Tell me I'm
hentai.
wrong.
I wasn't going off hentai actually, but you're right.
Yeah, you're wrong because it's doujinshi. Get the
Oh,
fuck on the right
I'm
side
sorry.
of the fucking sphere.
I'm sorry, you're right.
No, but
hate it here.
the only thing I've ever seen was a moderator on a anime meme subreddit was named HoloFan for Life, and got banned
So-
for some reason, and that was the only reason I know about this person.
Most of the like, whenever I saw it online, it was mostly the conversation would come up from people that were like Holo stands. Like people
Yeah,
that
'cause
love
it's always
Holo,
just
because
Holo
Holo is-
stands.
because Holo's like a top tier waifu.
Those-
No,
And
okay.
then that would
Wait
come-
a
Well,
minute,
yeah,
damn
you're
it.
done.
Can I
Whoa.
finish my thoughts?
Yes,
Finish your
Anthony,
thoughts because
finish
then I want
Please?
to, I want to say something.
Okay.
Please.
So, like I said, I really, really like the characters. I thought Holo and Lawrence, and pretty much all the characters, I think, were pretty well developed and well written. Lawrence sucks,
Yes.
but like I think he's written well enough to where like, oh, I understand why he sucks. You know what I mean? Do you get what I'm saying?
No.
Okay,
I
so
understand what you're
Lawrence
saying,
sucks. Lawrence sucks.
I don't think he's
But
well
I
written
disagree.
enough
He's
to
the
understand why
no,
he sucks.
he's
is what
well
I'm
written.
saying.
He's well written to suck. You know what I'm saying?
Why? How? What part of it is?
Because he's
well
very
written
I
to
think
show
he's very
done?
knowledgeable. I think he's very knowledgeable about like what his like trade is, and also I think he develops very well as a
I feel
character.
like he's very just one-dimensional, and that
I
is just, I
disagree.
am a merchant, and
I di-
that's
I think
I disagree.
Lauren-
I think he starts off as like this stoic, like I'm a merchant. My life is about money. I don't really have any need for friendships or blah blah blah. And then as the series progresses, he opens up and becomes like warmer towards like
Lawrence
relationships,
doesn't
and Holo
learn
teaches
a
him.
single lesson until the last episode.
I disagree. I think he learns multiple
Where-
lessons
I
throughout.
definitely disagree.
He's
I think he
like
learns. I think he develops.
he gets
very well as a
betrayed
character.
so many times that he's like,
Yeah, he's an
"Oh."
idiot.
Yeah,
For sure, he's a total fucking moron.
but
But,
that's
at least
what
he
I'm saying.
develops as a
It
character.
takes him to the end of the show to realize.
I think even midway through season 1 he develops more, and end of season 1 too.
Dude, I wish
Now season 2 is fucking pointless. I'll give it that. That shouldn't have been made.
Like he,
But
it was pretty
if-
pointless,
it
huh?
was fucking pointless.
If-
But at season 1, I think Lawrence and Holo have a great arc. I think they do.
Dude, I want to introduce Lawrence to crypto.
Right? Yeah. Lawrence, I think,
like,
would
yeah,
trade
it's
in
fucking-
Ethereum and Dogecoin and shit.
Dude, I'm gonna sell him some.
But I really enjoyed the
Stop.
characters. I really liked the world building. I thought the world building was pretty fantastic. I liked how it kind of like took like different eras of human history and kind of like mashed them all together into like different like kind of archetypes and stuff.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
It's like
Um,
vague Middle Age.
Vague Middle
European.
Ages, but like kind of like also moving into like colonial like territory, which was kind of cool. I like that. Other than that, oh boy, did I fall asleep multiple times watching the show. I'm sorry. I really enjoyed the character work though. I thought the character work and the writing was pretty fantastic. But other than that, I just really Lawrence is just too much of a fucking idiot for me to care about him. So I can't do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, how about you, Colin?
My name is Hollow the Wise Wolf.
Oh, Jesus.
And
Oh,
I
here we go.
am thick. I
Here we
mean
go.
dense because holy shit, this is a dense story.
Yeah, it
It's
sure is
just-
dense.
It's
Sure is.
it's just there's so much information being given at any point during the episode that you really cannot look away for a second.
But I
It's-
also feel like they're saying so much, and yet none of it is meaningful.
That's the thing. I think
Yeah.
this is it's really dense, but a lot of it is talking at you.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It feels like somebody who was just super interested in like the trading habits and like practices of people in these time periods and did a lot of research into that, wanted to write a story about a guy and a deity, and was just like, I'm just going to throw all this information in here and I'm going to flex my knowledge of this stuff, which yes, it can be very interesting and very educational and knowledgeable, but holy shit, it's just too much and too little of time sometimes.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I would very much hesitate to call this a bad show because it's really not a bad show.
No, it's
at all.
absolutely not
It's
bad.
not a bad show by any
just
means.
boring.
It's just
It's just
n-
not
That's
the
what
I just think
it's
it's just
not a
not for
masterpiece.
it's not for us.
Right.
You know, it's it's absolutely it is
I
so
can see
well
how
made.
Other people would like it.
Absolutely.
But I just think it's boring as
No
shit,
way. It's not
personally.
anywhere near like because Handshakers.
Yeah,
is-
Yeah.
That's
Right.
a bad
That's a
show.
bad show.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a bad show. Calling this a bad show, you're a fucking idiot.
No, no,
honestly.
no,
If
it's
you-
not
If
a-
you call this a bad show, no way.
I absolutely do not think this is a bad show. I think again, like there was good characters, there was some good story plots, and the stuff about the trading is very interesting. But then it also would go into too much information. We learn about the difference between Lumio silver coins and these gold coins and the prices of these coins for exchange rates, and then it's relevant for a couple episodes, and then we are only trading with Lumio silver coins or something.
Trini Silver, Lumina Gold.
Trini silver, Lumio's gold. Thank you very much.
Gold and silver.
It felt like a lot of the
You
time.
could just said
yeah.
gold and silver was kind of how it felt.
Look, if you're really into economics, I can see you loving the shit out of the show.
Oh yeah, no.
But
because
as
then
someone who
that's-
could not care less about economics and also like is not very much into like the genre this show is like I guess encapsulating, where it's just like kind of like pseudo intellectual. Well, not pseudo intellectual because like it is a very smart show.
Yeah, it does. It
Like I
does-
couldn't. It's just I don't think it's for me.
It does go against the
you know?
general anime trope of if you want to write a smart character, then you just write everybody around them being very dumb.
Because
But-
most people he interacts with know what they're talking
They,
about.
yeah,
Yes.
absolutely,
If
absolutely.
anything, most people he's talking to are smarter than him.
I was gonna say, if anything, Lawrence is the dumb one because he will take any get-rich-quick scheme.
Well, because
and run
Lawrence,
with it.
Lawrence is actively a very smart character. He just runs into people that are usually either smarter than him or found out a way to outwit him.
Because
And that's what I like about
he's-
Lawrence.
He's so
is that he learns.
he's weirdly like skeptical but also extremely trusting at the same time, where he's getting into a deal and it will be like he'll be thinking to himself, oh, like, is this a scam? And then he'll be like, no, it's not a scam, I can trust this person. And then he gets scammed and
Well,
he's like,
I don't-
I've been scammed.
I don't think that he ever. The way I always looked at it is that he isn't getting into the deal because he trusts the person. He trusts himself enough to get out of it. If it is, because like that guy that's like, I got
No.
a deal about the.
Because he's angry that he
No.
has to do that.
Because
He-
the guy
he-
the guy
he
with the
goes
silver
into the
coins, where he's like,
deal-
oh, if like I don't trust the guy, but I think I can figure out a way to make this work for me. Or
And then it ended up being way worse
He
than he
goes
ever
into
imagined
the
it
deal
would be.
right, but it wasn't
thinking
because of the
that
guy.
he can still
It just
make
he got
a
over
profit.
his head.
And then when he can't make that profit because he's been betrayed or some shit went down, that's when he like has that like, oh shit, now I'm like in too deep moment, because he has, I think, like too much confidence in himself, which Holo herself even says it.
Are we past the spoiler mark? Because
No,
I want
not
to
yet.
talk about.
we can
Not
we,
yet.
we can
Not
be,
yet?
we can be
No,
soon.
We
Mike,
can?
what
Or
should
no?
It can be
Yeah.
soon.
Thoughts.
It's just
my
waiting
God.
for
Okay.
Colin to finish his
Oh,
thought.
sorry.
Oh,
Mike has to go.
were you waiting for me to finish my thought?
Yeah, we got to get back to you.
Fuck, now I lost my train of thought. No, and then also it just feels like there was also, they had a pretty good cop out of how they could get out of many situations, which is established very early, that Hollow can turn into a giant wolf and fuck people up if she has a little bit of human blood
or wheat.
or
Yeah.
wheat.
Or wait,
It's really not that hard to buy some wheat and hold it on you, or just be like, hey, bite my arm real quick.
two
Yeah, but,
extremes.
I mean,
Thanks, babe.
It's like also
I mean, they have
he
the
doesn't want
wheat
her to do that
necklace,
because he
like,
doesn't
yeah.
want her to keep showing up, and then it'd be known, and then the church is gonna come after them for the rest of their life. And also,
Yeah, that was like the
how
first
much
couple
What's
of
the
cop
church
out in
gonna
the
do?
story
What's the
is
church
that?
gonna do against this big ass wolf?
That was like the first 3 episodes where his like childhood crush is like, he's like, oh, my childhood crush betrayed me. Now we gotta run away from the church. That's like the first 3 episodes.
That's the last 3 episodes.
That's the first 3 episodes, too.
no, and then she
No, like-
reappears in the sewers when.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
that's the
find out
last
that-
3
yeah.
the last episodes.
Yeah, when she finds
what, the
out
when
first
she
season?
betrays him.
Right. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's the beginning of
yes.
the story. It's the beginning of the
No,
story.
in the beginning of the story, he's leaving without her, and she's just annoyed about it.
She's upset that she won't open a
No,
shop
we're
with him, or
talking-
he
yeah.
won't open a shop with her.
We're talking about the beginning of like
very
towards the end of
beginning
season
the
1.
show?
Towards
Oh no, yeah, that's
like
yeah.
the beginning of the show as a whole.
Oh, that's a weird way to frame that, but sure.
No, I
Still
thought.
pretty
Sorry,
early.
I thought that was earlier in season 1, but I could be wrong. Sorry. I
When
might be
she betrays them for the church, that's the last 3 episodes. That's the whole thing in the sewers. That's everything.
Right, but there's a moment before that as well where she doesn't like. She thinks like the wolf is ridiculous, and then
Yeah, that's in the
Yeah,
beginning.
that's
in
in
the
the
beginning of the
beginning,
show, she's
yeah.
like, "Yeah, that fucking tradition's stupid as shit."
right, but doesn't she? No, I guess I'm misremembering. What I'm thinking of is the end of season 1. My apologies.
Okay. Anyway, what are your final
My final thoughts.
on,
It-
on the generic things? You kept. I don't know. We keep
no, that was
interrupting you.
Oh no, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
It's
Hi,
dense.
I'm a guy that doesn't like economics. I couldn't give any 2 shits about economics, but boy, do I love this show because it made me give a shit about their specific economics. I don't know. I have very few things that I don't like about this show. I like the characters. I think Holo's top tier waifu. I think that
so
the show is
incredibly
really
wrong.
interesting. I think Lawrence is great. I think the sound design and the music throughout the
I
show
also
are
thought
great.
that the music
I think the
was bad.
first OP is incredible.
bad,
kinda basic.
I
boring.
like everything about this show, and I have very few things to say bad about it.
You
So
rated
we
it
could
a
just
10, right?
and we could just go to spoilers because that's basically my generic thoughts. Is that I love everything about it.
I love it. Go ahead. You raised your
Sorry.
hand. No, you're all good.
Can briefly about Holo being top tier waifu, quote unquote.
Wait, can we just raise your hand if you think she's a top tier waifu?
Can you pull up a ranking on
You
iMal?
haven't seen enough people. Shut up.
Can you pull up
Well-
her on
well,
iMal? I'm just
actually,
curious
okay.
where, where
On-
that.
on-
where-
Here-
No, I love Holo.
Well, I mean,
Here-
on
here's
Mel.
what I'm gonna
curious
say.
where she's put.
I think as far as
The character
character
itself.
design goes, absolutely. Like just pure aesthetics, yes, 100%. I would put her in like top
She's-
waifu category. Like I think
Raphtalia does it better.
she has a great. But
That's
it. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I think that's
I don't
kind
know
of just
about that.
like.
I don't know
They're
about that.
literally the
I
same.
love
I don't like-
I
I
love
don't like
Raphtalia,
Raphtalia.
but they are different characters.
No,
I'm saying
I'm talking
aesthetically.
looks.
Cause
Oh, it's looks wise.
Characters, they're
you
nothing
give
like
me-
Can you
each
Google
other.
what
any
Raphtalia looks
anime
like?
bitch, and she's
No,
got
actually,
like
I
a
agree with
good
you. I
like
agree with
Yeah,
you, yes.
right?
ears and tail going on, like
So Holo
automatic,
was
like
first,
top tier,
so
just based on
Raphtalia looks like
visuals,
her.
Yes.
you know. But then when it comes to personality, I think her being like truly devoted to Lawrence is great,
I love her.
but
She's 8.
it
I don't love her.
takes like she just
She's not 8.
she just has
Raphtalia starts off as a kid, but their race gets older the higher they level
Oh,
up.
we
And
can
so when
have
she
that-
levels up,
we
she
can have
actually
that
gets
argument.
to level.
So
Gets
annoying.
older.
She
gets to level 18.
We
I am
can have
so
that argument.
annoyed.
for
2 episodes
literally
after she's introduced
days.
as a 5-year-old.
Oh,
And then
God
she's
almighty.
like biologically like 20.
But
And
if
she
the
wants to
main
fuck him in
character's
her.
not interested in her, she like throws herself at him.
Anyway,
Oh,
can you
of course.
pull up
So-
Holo on
But that's
Mal?
for like the
I am
fans,
curious
you
about
know?
Oh
her
yeah.
ranking is.
Oh, I know.
Where do I see the
Yeah.
rankings? I just see
You
So-
can go to like the character page and then it'll
I'm
show
on-
like
I'm on the-
popularity.
I'm on the character page. It doesn't show
There
up.
should be like
I'm gonna click through all
But
the
yeah,
Yeah,
sites.
wait,
turn
what was
the
I saying?
computer
I
to
was gonna
him.
say, like I really like the way that she feels about Lawrence and how she very clearly expresses it. But I think what makes me not like her as a top tier waifu is that like she is so bratty
Yeah.
all of the time
Oh yeah. So who
And,
thinks
like-
that she's a tsundere?
and
Let's have that
never.
conversation.
Well,
I
I
wanna
would
have that
actually, I
conversation.
actually wouldn't say she's a tsundere
I have an
because
argument.
she never is like
Queen.
never says she doesn't like him. She's very.
actively
Can I-
does
can I-
say
wait,
that she
wait,
likes
can I-
but
Yeah.
my thing about
In
it,
fact, she's very angry
Why-
that he doesn't reciprocate.
why
Yeah.
I think she's not a
No,
tsundere
that's
is
not true. She
because
said a couple things.
why I
but-
think she's not a tsundere is because she isn't like some tsunderes are so explosive to show any emotion to like their love interest, but she's really not. Like she'll show him like she'll like blush in front of him and they have like very cute like flirtatious moments with each other and it's like really quaint and nice and I love those moments.
Mhm.
But then when she's like in the moments that she is berating him, she has every right to berate him. It's not like, oh, you saw me and now I'm upset. You know what I mean? Like she berates him in moments of like, you made a stupid deal, bro. Like you're an idiot. Learn your lesson.
Everything you're saying is
she's so
true,
wise.
but she still has that feel of a tsundere to
Yeah.
her that you,
I
you
would say
acknowledge.
she's
no, wait,
she's tsundere light.
She's tsundere.
Yes, yes,
Here's the
okay.
thing that I think is what I figured out about it because I was paying attention to it when we were going on because of everything Mike was saying about. No, she's not a tsundere. I
Right.
swear. She is. This is something that I think is really good about her. Is she's written like an actual fucking adult. Which
Right.
when you see these characters that are youthful and are like hundreds or thousands of years old
Yeah, and they look like children.
and they look like children, they always act like children too. So that's where a lot of the tsundere stuff comes from. Is it's like that. Oh, it's a child who has a crush and is refusing to talk about it because they're always written just like that. Hollow's written like an adult and comes off as an adult. She's a mature older lady who knows what she wants and goes for what she wants, but still has that tsundere vibe to her.
Yeah, but she's also extremely bratty, and she's always like, "I'm hungry. Get me
Yes.
something to eat. I don't care how much it costs. I will put you under."
Exactly. So she does still have like the vibe to her, but she's I would say tsundere light
Yeah.
as well. Mature tsundere light.
I think that's a fair assessment. Tsundere light.
I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna disagree with Cinderella Light. I
'Cause
mean,
you see what I'm saying,
Because
Yeah,
I,
right?
I
Yeah.
think
I
to
do
call
get
her
it.
a full-on tsundere would be incorrect.
Oh, absolutely.
Also, other people on the internet do call her a tsundere.
But I
I
do
just
think
I don't think she's a tsundere.
I do think like if you compare
like when you put her next to like Asuka or
But
or
I-
Oh, no
I
fucking
don't
way, yeah,
feel
absolutely
but
like
not.
that's the thing. I would say Asuka is
You don't have to like
the
compare them for her to
extreme
be
end.
one.
or what's her face from Toradora.
Oh, that's again the extreme end.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
like usually when people say, "Oh, this character is a tsundere," they're looking at an extreme version of a tsundere. But she's, I think, like I would say she is a tsundere in the same way that my Valentine from Yu-Gi-Oh is a tsundere.
Yeah,
Sure.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, that does make sense because she's really,
She's
got the si-
obviously in love with Joey, but will never say it. But
She's
she
waiting
doesn't.
for him to make the move. She
And
gives
he's
him
never
every
gonna make the
opportunity,
move.
but he's super preoccupied with the Mets, baby. Let's go Mets. Come on.
Let's go to the Mets,
1986.
baby.
Can
The Mets.
happen
Yeah, let's go
again.
to the Mets.
Can happen
Hit
again.
some home runs,
fucking
baby, the
Red
Mets.
Eyes Black
But I also
Dragon,
think a lot of times
okay?
when she's like being kind of bratty, it's almost justified. Like the I don't remember what episode it is, but
when she's sick.
hey, we're gonna go into spoilers now.
We're going into
We-
There's
spoilers.
your warning.
I thought
Spoilers.
we already
Anthony,
were.
Anthony,
We didn't
you're
say
good to
anything
go.
specific yet,
Oh.
but spoilers specific. Anthony, you can say what you want now.
Yeah,
And,
Colin said it already.
Anyway,
I'm sorry.
yeah, that's the bit now.
Wait,
I know,
Yeah,
it's
I
fine.
was
But-
about to say,
but-
I like
I-
how people are gonna come into this not knowing us, and this just already exists.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're building our own lore without
Yeah.
people knowing.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what episode it is, but like she goes to grab his hand and he like moves his hand away, and
Right.
she gets all mad, and then it like happens again. She's like, "You refused to
Bless
grab
you.
like whatever's next to you twice now. Don't fuck it up a third time." And he's like, "I have no idea what you're talking about." And then the end of the episode, he's like walking away, and she goes to do it, and then he grabs her hand and was like, and she goes, "Finally, you figured it out."
Also, I don't know if this is just a me thing, but I felt like for a while I was like, I truly don't know if Lawrence is interested in this girl at all.
I also was
like
on that
I
train
really
of that I
could
couldn't
not
tell.
because at first, like in season 1, I was like, oh, maybe he's not attracted to her because they gave like that kind of inclination that he was attracted to like the childhood friend that he wanted to have the shop with, right? Which I was like, okay, that makes sense. He's being respectable. Like he's not gonna go fuck around if he's interested in another woman. Great, love it. But then he wasn't interested in her, and I was like, you have perfectly
Well, I think
good
it took
ass
him
right
time.
there.
I think it took him time to like think about it and realize that
Good
he
ass.
liked her. That
Like-
that was part of the story. at
hello?
one- that was
Wait.
part of the
Hello?
story at one point.
You are a traveling merchant. How much pussy do you come across?
Do you think it'd be hard to hit it from behind with the tail?
Probably
over
not.
it.
No,
I'm over
No,
this.
probably
I'm
gotta
over
go
it.
dude. You
up.
got more leverage.
Yeah. Although I feel like that might. No,
You
I
people
guess
are
it would
fucking
be
You think that
similar
would
as like
hurt?
pulling hair.
Who knows? She might be
No,
into
I
it.
feel like
She
it
could
would
be
be the
into
same
it.
as
Yeah,
pulling,
it's like
like,
pulling hair.
hair
She
on
might
your
be
head.
into it.
Yeah, like ear pulling.
Ear,
It's not just.
She got the pointy ears, bro.
It's not
But
just.
they're not that big. It's not like you
They're like levers. You're like operating a crane, dude. You know.
Sorry, what do you
'cause
think?
There's an actual like tail, so I guess it'd be like if you like pulled someone's arm or something. 'Cause, like, there's
Yeah,
the
I
actual
picture
limb
it
in
more like
No,
if you pulled
'cause-
like from the
'cause think
scalp.
of like
but
a
it's-
dog's
it's like
tail.
a-
You know what I mean? Like there's a tail in there.
She
Oh,
might
I
be.
guess-
She
I
might
guess
be into
you're
it.
right.
Who knows?
Who's to say?
Who's to
Guess
say?
you're
But not
right.
me.
Yeah, there's more stuff in there than just.
But
like
I guess
loose
it'd be
hair.
I
the
have
same,
not
like,
done enough
pulling.
research with the Dojin to know. I couldn't tell you.
There's a spice in Wolf Dojin.
There's many.
There's
gotta be
there are many.
tons.
There are
There's
many.
so many.
So many.
Oh boy.
That's how I.
Oh,
that's how.
wait.
That's how I learned about the original ending to the fucking manga. Was through one of them.
Also, you know what makes me upset? We never see her get the pickled pears.
Oh no.
Yeah, we
the
don't.
pickle apples.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Oh
we
well.
R.I.P.
We sure saw everything else
I
though.
didn't think anything of it. I didn't even remember that she like wanted
No, I
those.
actively remember watching the last episode, and I was like, "Wait, where the fuck are these pickled pears she was promised?"
She probably got him at some point.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure
but
she
I
got
didn't
'em.
see it
Yeah,
happen.
well.
You know she would have had a fit if she didn't get them.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
So she got them.
Where she was like, "I'm leaving your ass." I'm
You
gonna
say
find
that with
another
such like
virgin."
they're so vindictive. Like
Yes.
you're gonna fucking say
So
that,
much
you know?
malice in
a
your
lot of
life.
malice in the I know. It's like,
Oh yeah, but I was telling Anthony, since we are in spoilers and none of you care to ever look up anything about the show, is that at some point way down the road in the manga they
They have wolf babies.
have one.
Stop,
But
babies.
they get married and they set up a they open up a hot spring
Wait.
in the town.
What
by
happened
where
to
she
being
lived.
a
What happened to
merchant?
sell a
Wait,
shop?
I have a question.
That's so.
They-
That's
they-
I
why
hate that.
They
I
do
hate
hate
that.
that.
Why
but
did they open a
That's stupid.
No,
shop?
because isn't his whole thing to settle down?
Yeah, but he wants to have a shop so he can continue to be a merchant and sell things.
They open a hot spring where he can sell goods. That's hot springs still cater to people.
No.
But
different.
they open
No,
up the hot
that
spring.
doesn't
and
make me
they
mad
open-
because he wants to settle down. He
They
doesn't
open the
want to
hot
be
spring in
on
the town by where she used to live.
Oh,
It's
that's-
that
okay, in
near
the north,
Yoitz. I forget
right.
what the town was called, but they open up a shop and they have a kid that has like that also has like the
Ears and
and
tail.
stuff. But because she's half human, she can actually hide them, unlike Holo, and they're silver like Lawrence's hair.
wait, does that mean Lawrence dies and Holo continues on living?
At some point, but that's not the book. Never gets there.
That's
Wait,
so
would the
sad.
kid die?
No, I think the kid also is goes on, and she has her own spin-off. It's called Wolf and Parchment.
I don't like.
Why?
The
Is it
boy,
with
the
a-
boy
a-
that they
a-
travel with. I don't think his name is Parchment, but like I think he's a writer. I think.
Like Spice and Wolf.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Spice and Wolf and Parchment. I believe he's a writer. I don't fully remember. I haven't looked into it too much, and I've been reading the manga, but like over the course of a long time because I keep getting
but
sidetracked.
also like I
'Cause it's
understand
boring.
that she has a
No,
human
I just keep
form.
because there's no way.
Sure.
There's no
Sure.
there's no way to legally read it without like buying the like
Physicals?
the collector's super
Oh.
expensive edition. So I have to like do it non-cool
Yo ho,
ways.
yo ho.
Yeah, and so
Fine.
it's it's
Fine.
actually kind of hard to do that.
I'm just trying to think of the logistics.
But what of them having a kid?
Can we talk
Yeah.
about how we're 40 minutes in and there's like nothing to talk about anymore because the show's so fucking
Well,
boring
I
that
mean,
we're like
no, I
done
just- we
and
got
we're talking
sidetracked.
about the spin-off?
Well, I have more points, like
Go
more
for it.
in-depth points.
All right,
Can I bounce off one for you?
Yeah, go for
Let's
it.
talk about how Lawrence is fucking stupid.
Okay,
Let's talk about that.
When I think this is in season 2 where he's having this like whole scheme going on and he has his friend in that town where he's like, oh, you're like
the last
a
Oh,
the
sen-
last arc of the season.
yeah, your
Yeah.
like indentured servant is going
The
to
kid.
yeah,
Yeah.
is gonna like spread this rumor and will jack up the price and all this stuff. And the friend is like, do you not see me as a friend? Like,
Yeah.
do you think I'm just some
Do you think I'm an
schmuck?
object? Yeah.
You know, like, and he's like, I don't know if you know this, but I live here, and I have to like still pay my bills when you leave. And
Yeah, he's like, you
support
get
my
to
wife."
leave. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, like all this stuff, and Lawrence is like, what?
Yeah,
Well,
no.
yeah, 'cause
when
he-
the
he-
dude's like, I will piss off everybody who lives here.
Like, I will
and they will
literally
hate me for this deal. I'll make some money now,
get
but
run
I'll
out of
be
town.
Fucked.
Yeah, he was like, it's sure if we make some money on the side, nobody really gets too annoyed at that. But he goes, but like if anyone that's
If I
here tries to
collapse
do
the
a quick
market, like,
money
or
scheme and
inflate
screws
the
everyone
market.
else, yeah. And but I really like that whole like thing,
No,
and then when
that's
it
what I'm
circles
saying,
back
like-
around where when it comes back around near the
But
end, and he's
that's-
like, and now what am I to you? And he's like,
That's
Yeah,
what
I'm
I'm saying. Like,
you're my
I
friend.
like that friend has that essentially like come to Jesus moment with Lawrence. But it's also like, Lawrence, you've been a traveling merchant for so long, and he obviously cares about people, right? Like when he goes to that
Very cute.
town in the beginning
I like the
with
design.
his childhood friend that he wants to have the shop
what
with,
the
like
kid?
he
Wolf and Parchment.
he obviously cares about those people in that town, and he's not trying to cheat them, you know. So it's like if he already knows that and has that like, because the whole thing of like Holo being like your kindness is your undoing, or that's your like fatal flaw, you
Yeah,
know,
she's like, you're too nice.
right? And I'm
I feel
like,
like he's not
he's
even that
obviously
nice.
No,
not.
he's an asshole.
Like-
he's too nice to her, really.
Yeah.
But
And,
that's
like,
what I'm saying. He's
and
like,
to random like he's really nice to the shepherd girl that kind of gets him into shit.
but
Because he
stuff
wants
like
to
that.
bang her.
He doesn't. He's not
Alright,
into her. All right.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I don't know.
Because by that point, he's already
Alrighty.
into Holo.
I don't know.
I don't
He could have
know.
multiple
I
conquests.
did really like the
Men,
little.
men be horny.
I did really like the thing though, where when at one point, the shepherd is talking to Holo, and she talks about how the dog has a crush on her,
Right.
and then later she's like, "Oh, I just made that up. He just knew who I was, and I was really annoyed about it, so I was just making him really uncomfortable."
I just wanted to piss you off because
Yeah.
I was mad.
And I was like,
Sorry.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I
I
like how she talks about like dogs and like the other wolves and like the animals that she can kind of like talk to. And we also learned that other alchemist is also another deity, a
Right.
bird person.
Yeah.
Which
I
also
hate that they didn't show more of that. They just kind of like
I
briefly
wanted-
said
Yeah, they
it,
showed
and
the
that
other
was it.
wolf that
What-
was like a younger wolf.
when-
the giant
when-
Oh, the
one.
alpha
when
of
they
the
had
pack.
the alchemist lady, when they first introduced her, I was like, I think Holo should leave Lawrence and go with her.
Yeah,
They
I agree.
understand.
I
Yeah,
honestly-
Tiana was
yeah.
like, yeah.
I
uh-huh.
did really like the little thing that came out of that when she starts telling Lawrence about the alchemist, and she's like, and she's a bird, whatever,
Right.
and she was like, she used to stay with a priest, and they were building a thing, and then they were building a chapel, and then he started to question her, and she's like, and I'm not gonna repeat the rest because it's too sad to say again, and you're just like, I personally I really like that because I just liked the implication of what you can think of, but also just like that there are other people that have had the same type of
Experience,
lives
yeah.
as them, and other ways have how it's come out.
But what I think is interesting about that is that like we see that towards the end of season 2, where like Lawrence has already seen Holo in her like real form several times, has obviously very fully accepted it, like has been traveling with her this whole time, like no problem, whatever. So it just feels weirdly placed for her to be like, oh, this other alchemist who's also a giant ass bird, like she had a human lover and it went wrong. Like I think if they had done that earlier, it would have worked better. Like it would have been stronger. Cause like first time, let's say it was like, okay, first time that he sees that she's a giant ass wolf, and then we see this glimpse of like another person who is similar to Holo and her tragedy of like falling in love with a human, and then Lawrence being like, that could be me.
Well, in the realm of the
Yeah,
You know what I
in the
mean?
realm
Yeah,
of the
it would've brought
story,
more
the
conflict
second-
earlier.
The end of the second season is still like the beginning of this.
Well, yeah,
thing
but I just
in the
but,
grand scheme of
right,
the
but I
story.
only know it in the context
Right.
of 2 seasons of anime. You
Right.
know what I mean?
But I do see what you're saying, but like, I guess if the show kept going, then it would recontextualize that. I
Right.
guess, for
Like
you.
if there was
Yeah.
more
Did they bring
stuff
it back up? From what you
afterwards,
read?
then I would say yeah, no
Um,
problem. But in the
I think it comes up from what I've read.
But
it's-
actually, I mean, at the end, he says like "I love you," so it doesn't really add to it. So
Oh well, I mean, like I also feel like it's a bit more, for me at least, a bit more interesting to think that like there aren't a lot around. Like she's maybe
Well,
one
yeah,
of the only
I mean,
few, and then you
it's
happen to
it's
mention this
showing you
one
that
it's-
she Holo herself is not like they say in the beginning where she's talking about how she thinks it's funny that humans idolize this god, right? And she's like, you know, when I was first coming around into Earth, the idea of one singular god is silly because I know better than that. You know what I mean? Because people idolize her as a god, and she knows she's not. She's just
Yeah, I was gonna say. I also like that she was like, I never thought of myself that. People
Yeah.
just started claiming it.
And
to
the
be
way
me.
that they talk about the church and God, it almost feels like a parody. Like I know it's not because that was really a thing in like how extreme people were, but just the amount of times that they reference how like God's blessing is giving us this deal and blah blah blah, but they are also so heavily emphasizing how corrupt the church is. I'm like,
I
What-
love
thought
how
that was the best part. I like
yeah,
it's so
no,
it's
it
so
makes,
real
it
and
makes
honest.
total sense because the church is
And I
like,
love how like
fucking
Lawrence
the
doesn't
worst.
believe in the church, but like he spends so much time in towns that believe it that he has to go through
right.
it.
That's
that
why
in the
it
last,
felt like a parody.
Yeah, in
because
the last town of
yeah.
this second season, he like says, "Oh, you know, thank God for this thing," and then people look at him and he's like, "Right, we don't do that here." He's
Yeah.
like, because he's just so in the habit of having to say it.
yeah, like,
No, that's like that was like a whole big thing back then. If you weren't religious, you have to be very outwardly religious if you want people to either do deals with you, or if you're a noble, you have to, you know, show your faith to inspire the rest of your people to be faithful and follow the rules and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. There were a lot of things that I personally like about it, but anyway, you guys can go back to your gripes.
I also-
I'll
I
play
also-
devil's advocate.
I also did think that like just showing the influence of the church that they had over the other religious groups at the time was really interesting.
I like that whole the last arc in the second season a lot, just because of it has to do with a lot about how the church in that town was trying to get its own power,
Mm-hmm.
and how it kind of worked around that time of like how they're doing all this really shady shit to try to make themselves way bigger.
Yeah.
To get like, what was it? They were going for a chapel or something, or
They were trying to make their own. I think,
they wanted like a bishop there.
yeah,
right?
a bishop. They
Yeah.
wanted to
Yeah.
have.
It was awesome to see. It's like because that was the power of the church, the influence to the point where like literal, you know, demigod deities kind of things are still fairly powerless against the might of the church at the time.
Right, which is why she stays
Hidden,
like hidden
yeah.
and whatnot, because they just don't want the church chasing them at all times forever. And then, you know, shit happens.
But then she can turn into a wolf and fuck him up. So who cares?
Yeah, I also really liked the whole plot with the statues, and then that they were like just salt shaped into it, and that's how they were making all the money. And
I
how
had
they
some
go
issues,
about
though.
trading them.
I thought that was a
some
little
issues.
flimsy.
It
But
was flimsy, yeah.
yeah.
Especially because it's like the girl he's trading with, like, every chance to see he probably shouldn't take this deal, and he still takes the deal. Then he's like, all right. And then she's like, pulls out the knife. She's like, I'm going to kill you. And he's like, oh, no. And then she, like, swings at him, and she, like, does almost get the hit, but she's got the back of the blade.
Yeah, it's very weird. She
And-
has
Yeah, because then there's like a minute there where it's
Where
implied
you
she
would-
didn't want to kill him.
Right, where you would be like, oh, she just wants to incapacitate him because the blunt side
Yeah.
is to him.
And it's like, oh, she wasn't actually like bad. She just had to do this for the deal, and it's all a part of the deal. She doesn't actually want to kill him. But not even 2 minutes later, it's revealed she absolutely had to kill him. So
Yeah.
there was no reason for that entire part to exist.
Yeah, and then like with that, the whole thing of like him being like, "Oh, you were the one like smuggling the salt," where when they first introduced that of like, "Oh yeah, there was a merchant working for the church smuggling salt," all that, I'm like, it's obviously this person we just fucking met who's super sketchy. You know what I mean?
Well, I feel like that's a lot of that's like the what the fuck is it called? The
I mean, that's just storytelling where everything you introduce is relevant to the plot. Like,
Right.
Oh,
Right.
Chekhov's gun.
like no, just that like because
Uh,
we are reading the story, obviously the person that was just introduced is that person.
Right,
But,
because
like,
we
in
have like
his-
an
in the world
omniscient point of
yeah,
view.
in the world of the character, this is just another person he's running
Oh,
across.
dramatic
it's-
irony.
Yeah,
Is
it's,
that what it
it's
is?
like it's like watching an episode of like
Yeah, I
what
think
like
so.
CSI, and it's like, oh, here's the guest star, and it's like
All right,
They-
they're,
They
they're,
fucking
they're,
did it. Yeah.
They did it.
Yeah. But yeah, so like from that perspective, I'm just like, but also at that point I'm like, Lawrence, you're meeting this person who has this secret that they immediately reveal to you after stalking you. And then they want to have a super profitable deal with you even though you just met them. Would you not have learned your lesson after being fucked over several times before this? Obviously not.
That man's just driven by greed. Just a greedy motherfucker.
And that was the whole thing. Like, at the end of that, where he's like, oh, money corrupts everything and all this, like, that whole speech that he has, I'm like,
Yeah, literally the only
That's-
time that literally the only time where it's like actually justified that he gets fucked over is when he scams the shop owner
right.
and then like
Well, with
and then
the armor?
what?
with the armor.
The armor. He like scams the armor and then the price of armor and weapons like
Right.
dropped 'cause the war
plummets.
stopped.
Yeah, because the war stopped. Like that's the only time in the entire show where it's like it's not his fault,
right.
right?
Because how would he know?
How would he know?
Well, yeah,
But-
because that was him actively being greedy, but also like the other guy tried to screw him over, so he was like, all right, fine, fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I did like in that scene where he meets the guy, it goes back to the God thing a bit, where he goes to reach for the scales that he was going to measure the stuff with, and it's like, it sure is God's blessing that we could be here together, and he just moves his hand to the scales on the right, and it was like, he's going to screw him over if he wasn't a man of God, but then he does try to
does
screw him over anyway.
Yeah.
So it was either it was gonna screw him over more because it was more of an unbalanced scale on the table,
Mhm.
or it was just to make him feel more comfortable that he did make a right choice.
Yeah.
Either way.
It's just like that whole thing of like Lawrence being like money corrupts everything, and it's like, and then he has the whole moment with Holo where they like express their feelings to each other, and then it's like the end credits are rolling and they're getting on the boat to like continue their journey. I'm like, okay, yeah, money corrupts things. Like people are fucking assholes and greedy, but you're still planning on traveling. And you still have to be a merchant in the meantime. Like, you're not going to make shit deals in the meantime. You know what I mean? Like,
This
you
is why
still-
I just think that. Oh, I'm sorry. Please
No,
finish your thought.
I'm good. I'm good.
Money, I'm going to interrupt you.
Okay.
Money corrupts everything, but I will take every get-rich-quick scheme that comes my way.
Yeah.
So I just think season 2 is just pointless. I really do. I think season 1 just covers every base, and then it ends.
It's more of
I
the same.
It's
literally
more the
think-
same. Like that's all it is.
I think that they did season 2 to progress the relationship, and that's pretty much it.
That's what I was going to say.
I was
Even
gonna say, I
then,
think
we
season
got,
two is
like-
just much more of character development. It's
'Cause
about
the-
But I
that.
feel like they could have like had the moments with Lawrence and Holo like together, like admitting their feelings to each other at the end of season 1, and would have been kind of exactly the
Exactly
I
the same.
agree.
I
But
think...
I think
I mean,
No, I see what
I
you
like
did, yeah.
season 2 for the fact that we do get these like really nice intimate moments with them, and you get like, you can see that they're more comfortable with each other, with the flirtation that they have with each other,
Like when they go dancing during
Yeah.
the
and
festival
like
stuff.
when they're in that inn, and they're like walking down the hallway. This is right before you meet Ave. And they're like, you know, having that little flirtation in the hallway with each other and all this stuff. Like, I think that those parts are really nice because they're so intimate.
I just think that they didn't
I-
have enough to do season 2. Like
I
You're
think
right.
I think if what they did was they did in the entirety of season 1 and then did the Amarty arc and ended it after the Amarty arc, you would have had a great show.
Mm.
I think everything afterwards with Ave and all that shit is pointless.
Also,
It's nothing.
I would like to add that I don't know how you guys feel about it, but you probably don't like it. But I really like during that arc the fucking kid whose name I always forget, Marty. That like Lawrence, you can tell that Lawrence is so in his own head that Holo is trying to tell him that she is the fucking other buyer with the feathers. Like the whole time, like she keeps like pointing at him and like moving her hair near them, and she's like, and then finally he just fucking breaks and he's like, I just gotta go do it. And then she fucking slams it down. She's like, I was trying to get your attention for so long. You made me stand next to that asshole pretending to like him because you couldn't put it together that I was telling you that I was the other buyer of the
I
pyrite.
liked the kid though. He really was just trying to be her Prince Charming.
She
Yeah,
was a
no,
loser. He was
that
trying
kid
to
was
be
a
a
loser.
fucking-
And
That
then what
kid
about
was a
fucking
loser.
The Apprentice? I'm also in love with
Oh,
Hollow.
No,
And I'm
but you
like,
know what
oh
I
my god,
liked-
shut the fuck
You know
up.
what I liked about the kid though was he
Kid was smart.
not only that he was smart, but I think he was a perfect example of like what the opposite of Lawrence is, because Lawrence he does everything kind of like in increments, you know, slow. Where this kid, they're saying, oh, he's like a merchant genius, you know, like he moved up so quick and he made all this money and he's so successful and he's so young, and then he like makes this deal to have Holo as his own, and he just so outwardly expresses his affection for her just based on sight type deal, you know. But like I think he's the opposite of what Lawrence is that he's so confident in himself and he's so young and he's like such a go-getter, where Lawrence is like, I have my dream and I have to follow X, Y, and Z step to do it, and like if I miss that like one step here, like it's gonna all crumble. Like Lawrence is obviously like extremely anxious all the time, where this kid is like, yeah, whatever, I have money to blow.
Right. Am I the only one who thought a Marty's voice actor was like awful?
Who was Marty's voice actor?
Like, am I the only one
I
who thought
don't- no, I
their
didn't
acting
think
was
about
just
it.
I-
awful?
I thought most of the people in the show were great.
Yeah, I
assume
thought most of
didn't
the
I
voice
agree.
most of the voice
But a
act-
Marty,
no,
but that's the
none
thing.
of it bothered me.
In a
None
cast
of it
surrounded by
bothered me.
fantastic voice performances, I thought a Marty just stuck out like a sort. Like, I thought they were awful.
Really?
Really?
Yeah,
I
I
didn't-
really
it
did.
didn't-
it didn't bother
never
me.
caught me.
They were like,
No.
"You can take this contract,"
I mean,
and
he
I was
was
like,
a kid.
"I know,
so-
but like, still."
I
No,
don't know.
that's-
it never caught my
I
eye.
think he was supposed to, like, if what you're complaining about is that, like, I think he was supposed to sound like prepubescent kind of.
Who was it?
No, that's not. I'm not trying to like say
Ryan
like,
Reynolds.
That's
Not-
not. What?
What?
Her name is Ryan Reynolds.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Excuse
I was
me.
like,
I
excuse
was
me.
about to say what?
That's
Yo,
really-
Hello?
Ryan Reynolds did one voice acting thing once.
Right.
It was a Marty.
A
Ryan
Marty
Ray-
fucking
Reynolds?
Spice and Wolf.
Dude, imagine.
That is really funny though. But no,
Um,
that voice didn't really bother me at all.
I don't think
Nah.
it was the voice. I think it was just like not,
The
like nothing
cadence?
about the performance sold it.
I
for me.
also really
else
liked
did they?
I'm looking.
his friend's kid, like
Um,
the kid, the indentured servant that you keep
Uh-huh.
saying. I also really liked him. I thought like
Yeah,
like he
I
would
thought
ask
was
him
fun.
questions and the kid would sit there and think about it for a second
Right,
and
I
like
think
figure
that-
out how to do it.
I think that kid was fine.
And I really liked the kid because he like also because he worked more off emotion than like, but he had the logic behind him that he like, and when Lawrence was freaking out in that moment and he yells like I love Holo too, it's also because I think he's just saying that, but also like to get Lawrence to fucking get his shit together, where he's like come on, like put it together, get it, like here's your fucking shit, go make the move, get on with it, you're freaking out, move on.
right. I don't think that kid is that smart, but yes, I
Like
understand what you're
I don't
saying.
think he's like putting it to that point, but just like to get Lawrence because he kind of I feel like kind of idolizes him in some regard. Like
the
he's
kid
just
idolizes Lawrence.
not to the same extent as like the other guy.
No, I
but, like,
understand what you mean.
Yeah, and
but-
that he's just trying to be like you're not acting like yourself. Fucking get it together.
right.
You have a plan, probably.
Ryan Reynolds is also Gray from Fairy Tale.
Never
Oh.
watched.
If
Fairy
If you
Tale.
watch Darling in the Franxx, she's the short angry kid, not the short angry one, the short hyper kid Zorome,
Okay.
and then
yeah.
also in My Hero Academia, from Class B, at the Ghost Girl Reiko.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I know that one.
fun fact, Mike.
Oh boy.
Holo, since you think she's, top tier waifu, her the voice actress is Yuno.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
From
Future Diary.
Future Diary.
Mhm.
Great.
Yeah,
Awesome.
best.
Yep.
Best girl you know.
Well,
Mike
And
is
I-
reevaluating
I-
everything
I
right now. Yeah.
It's fine.
specifically remember you complaining about Yuno's voice and that she was annoying.
They're
so-
different voices.
And yeah,
Just-
They are
just
different
saying.
voices.
Look
I
at
heard
them
it
reach.
immediately.
Look at
I
them
could tell
reach.
immediately that it was her.
Okay, I mean, I
Yeah.
have I'm
I
probably
didn't-
sure
I
I've
didn't
heard
pick
her
up on
around
that.
it.
Did you also know that she voices Minetta?
I didn't
Does
know.
she? That's
No!
hilarious.
Stop
That's
it.
incredible.
And Chopper.
Who's Minetta?
All right, you can't.
My
all right,
Hero.
well, Chopper's great.
The worst
Minetta,
character in
Minetta
the
is the
show.
one character that everyone was like, man, if he
Like,
could just
I
die, that'd
think
be
she's-
great.
Confirmed
she's
worst
young
character.
Broly.
Not a single soul is a Minetta
Aw.
fan.
Like crying young Broly or
I
like
don't
a
know,
new
it ju-
version
It
young
literally
Broly?
just says Broly from the Super movie.
Oh, so new version young Broly.
It's got to be new version Young Broly because it's got to be Young Broly.
It's got to be New Year version Young Broly.
They're saying a lot of
She
words.
does a lot of shit.
CL.
Anyway,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
she's,
In all
she's
of
a
them?
prominent
or
voice
just,
actress.
I'm looking at least in
But
the
I
movie.
never- I
At least
never
in the
heard-
movie book.
Oh,
I've
okay,
never
because
heard
I know
Yuno
in like
in my brain, but I also can't really picture Yuno's
What's
voice
the
on
But
it.
movie?
you also
uh,
watched
Circus?
Spice and Wolf first.
Something Atlantic.
So
that's true.
now
Oh,
if you
that's,
listen
the-
to Yuno,
the
you might
yacht
be like, oh,
arc
that's Holo.
where
You
they're on a
wouldn't think
boat.
of it
Might
in the
be.
opposite
Book
way
of
where
Murder
I
as
heard
well.
Yuno first, and I'm like, that's Yuno. You know what I mean?
Might be.
Yeah.
Trying to
but-
see if she does Chopper and everything because so far she does Chopper in the movies. Yep, there's
What's Chopper? Who's Chopper?
Chopper's
From
the
One Piece.
reindeer person of the One Piece.
She also does
One
Chao
thing.
Tzu and Puar from the movies.
One Piece,
Oh,
motherfucker.
nice.
One Piece.
One Piece is amazing.
Dude, you
should
get
read One Piece.
you've been on TikTok for like a while. You know the song that like the oh no doctor Tony Chopper, that song that was going around for
Is
a
that
while.
a thing?
Yeah.
What?
That's
You
a
never
thing?
you never
That's
listened to
TikTok
Tony
trend?
Chopper song?
I
I've
don't
never
know
heard
what
this
that
Tony
is.
Chopper song.
It's adorable.
And I spend a lot of time on TikTok, and I
yeah, but
I
you're
don't
also
know
not in the
that.
One Piece area. But I mean, you're on the
I
anime
don't use
TikTok. I figured
TikTok,
you
and
could
I'm
heard it.
really happy about it.
Afterwards, I'll
Me
pull it up
neither.
real quick. It's very adorable. It's the Japanese voice actors, but it's Chopper and Luffy's voice actors like singing a little song.
It's adorable. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's just about Chopper being a cute doctor.
It's a shame that Chopper is kind of a nothing character. at
He
this
sure
point.
is.
Rip.
But
Unfortunate.
I don't know. I love Holo. Holo is one of my top 5 waifus. I will have her statue.
All right,
In
who
a
else
year.
is in that
Who's
top
up-
5?
Yeah,
This
that's
is an
what- that's
important
what
I
I'd
wanna
like to
hear
know.
these
Who
top
else
5
is in
waifus.
there?
top 5 right now.
Okay. Top 5 would be Rem.
Okay.
Holo.
Is this order?
No.
Okay.
Just random.
No.
Fuck, I just spaced on the person. Nia,
Who's Nia?
From
Gurren Lagann,
okay.
and
Oh, that's a good choice.
fuck, I'm spacing on the 5th one. I can literally
You've
picture
only-
named 3.
You only said 3, bro.
What?
You've named 3.
Holo,
Yeah.
Rem,
Mm-hmm.
Nia.
Nia. Did I not say another one?
You sure
No.
didn't.
No. Cool.
Were you
Awesome.
gonna say Power?
No. I mean, Power's up there, but like I'm thinking like my original versions,
Okay.
and now I'm spacing on them. I literally have a list on my anime list with
All right,
them.
pull it up.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
favorite.
Pull up
is it
his
the
My
favorite
Anime
in
list.
Is it the
I think
favorite
Megumin's in
waifus?
there. I think Megumin's 4
I
or
can't- I
something.
can't put
She's
her
in there, I
best.
think.
Yeah, I can put her in best girl, just not waifu. Characters. Okay, I've got 8 here. Some are men.
Yeah, I think it's just.
so we've got
well,
Holo.
well, because it's just favorite characters. It's just favorite characters. It's not
Oh,
waifus.
okay.
My
yeah,
favorite
Spike
waifu.
Siegel, Kamina,
Spike
Orga,
Siegel's my favorite one.
Orga from Iron Blade Orphans, Shinya from Psychopaths, Holo from
Wait,
Spice and
which
Wolf.
one's that one?
Psychopaths?
Yeah.
He's the like detective in the
Oh,
first.
okay.
The edgy hot detective.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was worried that it
I
was
like him.
Mushroom Head Girl,
No,
and I was like,
no.
Nia from
no.
Gurren Lagann, Rem from ReZero, and Megumin from Konosuba. So you only have 4 here.
Oh, I only have 4.
You only
So
have
you
4
don't even
names here.
have a top
Then I
5.
guess 5 can go Power because I can't think of anyone else
I don't
currently.
know what my
Bulma?
top 5
Or
is.
Yoko.
I don't know my top 5.
From
That's
Gurren
okay.
Lagann also.
You're
Yo-
like
I was
talking
gonna say
about the
Yoko
shit,
Ono.
you're
It's
like,
okay.
Come on.
I just know
Could do
that
better.
No.
the C2.
Not. Wait, hold on. You never said who texted
Sailor
you
Mars.
randomly about how the fuck why is she a good singer or whatever the fuck you're
Dude,
talking
that
about.
was like the funniest coincidence. Because
It had nothing to do with that
had
conversation.
nothing to do with that conversation. I had talked to a coworker earlier that day.
For
And I was-
context, real quick, because
I'll-
this was a few episodes
Yeah.
ago. When we were talking about the Beatles documentary and we were talking about Yoko Ono, and they were like, "She's not a bad person." And I was like, "Her singing's awful," and they were like, "No."
No. Her singing's awful.
Yeah.
Her singing's
But
terrible.
the context in which it
There
was
was-
presented in the documentary.
There was
awesome.
one
But
time.
after
There
the
was one
podcast-
time in the documentary where she does her screaming, singing thing, and it worked really well. She does it again later in the documentary. It's fucking awful.
Right.
I would like to state that.
But
for
after the
record.
podcast, when we stopped recording, randomly, Colin got a text from a number he didn't have in his phone that was like, "How dare you think Yoko Ono's fucking great?" or
Yeah,
and
whatever.
it
what
came
the
in
fuck was
2
that?
minutes after I made that comment while recording.
And who was it?
It was my coworker from work who I mentioned that exact thought to earlier that
And it was
day.
just a weird
It was just a weird coincidence.
Wow, that's
Oh.
crazy.
I told him
there
the
was
next
someone
day.
in the house.
I thought there was someone in the house.
He was like, "Which one of you texted somebody?" And I was like,
I'm
nope.
sorry for immediately assuming it was one of you trying to fuck with me, but I could not believe that could be coincidence.
That was hilarious.
It was
That
very
was
funny.
really weird.
He found it very amusing later.
Anyway, yeah, sure. I'll give 5 to Power because I can't think of anyone else.
She's
But
amazing.
Yoko's also great from Gurren Lagann, so also that. Anyway,
Anybody else got their top 5 waifus
I could try.
No,
or best
Okay.
girls?
what are the
I could
5
try.
shows you've watched?
I could try. All right, we got.
I'll pull up a list.
Are you
Okay,
guys
well,
doing
we're all
waifus
pulling
or
up
Yeah, I
lists.
could try. I could try.
Waifus.
I'm
All
gonna do
right.
waifus.
Okay.
I don't think I have that many husbandos.
As far as
Husbandos.
husbandos.
Waifus goes.
Okay. We got Masato.
Oh,
Masato.
okay.
Okay, cool. You picked the right one.
Yeah. Hello, Masato. Faye. Motoko. Kusanagi. Ghost in the Shell. You haven't seen Ghost in the Shell, right?
I have.
Oh, yeah.
The
Motoko
main girl?
Kusanagi.
Is that her
Yeah,
name?
the commander. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Motoko
Yeah,
Kusanagi.
yeah.
I saw it once and it was a while ago.
Yeah. Her. What's her fucking name? From Only Yesterday, the girl from Only Yesterday, my favorite Ghibli movie. I forgot her name.
Never seen that one.
Her.
Sure.
Daisy Ridley's character in Only Yesterday.
What the fuck?
Hello?
God damn it, Siri.
Mute.
Siri?
I thought Sirius turned off on my phone. Anyway.
Her. And number 5. The mom from Erased. Shinichiro.
God.
The mom from Erased.
Fuck yeah,
All
dude.
right.
Are you kidding me?
Honestly,
You're gonna look at her?
She rocks.
She rules, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah,
Dem
she
lips.
rocks.
Dem
She
lips.
rocks.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
The
No.
mom from Erased.
The mom from Erased.
No, I'm gonna throw the mom
I
from
want that
Fruit Baskets
MILF
in there.
life.
Yeah, MILF Life. Yeah. Oh, honestly, dude, she'd be 6. What was it? The
mom
red
from
crimson
Fruit Baskets,
butterfly.
yeah.
The crimson butterfly. Ooh, how you doing? But anyway, yeah. Faye, Motoko, Misato. Only Yesterday. I forgot her. I can't believe I don't remember her name. Only Yesterday girl and fucking what did I say? The mom from Erased.
Erased,
I think
yeah.
her name was Shinichiro.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
I forgot.
All right, who's up next?
I don't think I have 5 up
I
less.
think I have 5.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah, go.
sorry, go on.
No, please.
C2 from Code Geass,
Mhm.
but very close second is Khan from Code Geass. Can I have 2 from the same show? Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, why
Yeah,
not?
that's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, because they.
I mean, if I have Yoko in my list,
It's-
that's 2.
If we're
I
doing
guess
2
that's
from the
fair.
same show, then absolutely Ritsuko from Evangelion.
Yeah, it's
Like,
it's
Yeah.
such a close tie for me
Not my
for those
pick,
2.
I don't know.
Sailor Mars from Sailor Moon.
Is that the cousin?
No,
No. Okay.
it's,
It's
the one I
the
had the figurine.
Dark
Of,
hair.
and she has the fire powers.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I love her. She's really cute.
They have elemental abilities.
It's almost done.
What? Yeah,
The-
Mercury
the
has water
planets
powers.
are different.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought they just all had like magical star powers.
I mean, yeah, they have like different kinds of powers. I know.
I just didn't know that they were like element based. I thought they were just
Not
like,
all of them are
random shit.
They're not all
Oh,
element
okay.
based. Like Sailor Moon's one isn't an element based, and
Hers could have been like water.
I
Makes so much sense.
don't think Sailor
'Cause the moon-
Venus's
the
water
tide
is
Controls the
elemental
tide.
either.
I feel like that's.
Mm,
I feel like
I guess.
that's enough to
All right.
like
I-
Avatar.
I see- I
the
see the
waterbenders.
logic.
The
I see the logic.
waterbenders
When
learned from the
when
moon.
I thought moon, I was like, and you were like water. I was like, that shit just dry, Mike.
Mike, there's no water
That
on the
motherfucker's in
moon.
space,
Dry.
dog.
Wait,
What are
isn't
you
there
talking
frozen
about?
water under in the moon?
I don't think that's
No, I don't
true.
think-
I think
Is
it's
that not
on
true?
Mars.
I thought
That
that was
was
true.
in Mars.
Oh, okay.
They
Mars
found
they
that
found
on
ice, I
Mars.
I thought that was. alright.
So Mars should have water powers.
They fucked
yeah.
it.
They fucked up, guys.
Well, but for astrology, isn't that the different?
how the fuck? should
No
I
idea.
don't
I have
know shit
understand
about
I was
nothing
hoping
about
you
astrology.
knew.
No, I don't know anything about
We have a
astrology.
project at work right now that's based on the astrology things, and every time my boss is like, "What do you think of this?" I'm like, "I don't
like,
know.
I don't fucking know."
Like,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't.
like, hello?
And she's like, "Well, you know," and I was like, "Look, I'm sorry, but I have no interest in astrology." And then she's like, "I'm not gonna make you learn about astrology for this one thing once." I was like, "Thank you," because I don't want to know.
Ty Lee from Avatar.
Solid choice.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
choice.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
I'm-
Great choice, even.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my pick.
Yeah.
I love her. And oh my God, what I am picturing
She's
her
12.
in my brain, but I can't. Right? She's like at least 14.
Yeah, she's like 16.
She's
aren't
like
they?
14.
Aren't all the like them like
like
16?
I don't know.
14-ish?
They're young.
Yeah, still that's why
no,
Megumin's not
they're
on my
Azula's
list.
age, so they're all 14.
Waifu does not necessarily. I mean,
No,
whatever. We're not having this argument.
What between waifu? This is a waifu
Yeah.
list, so Megumin's not on the list. She's on the best girl list. She's not on the waifu
She's
list.
not on your waifu list?
She's 14. I can't get over it. I can't.
She's a child.
She's literally the youngest one in the show. It's
like,
it's
Okay,
the hardest
all of
hump
my
to get over.
waifus except
Most
for
of the-
C2
yeah,
are
most of the
underage,
fucking
okay?
yeah,
Like,
so,
like
shows
it's not
they're
the- it's-
in high school.
C2,
so, like,
she's only not underage because she's just cursed with existing forever, but she looks like she's 17, all right? Like, what do you want from
Yeah,
me?
like fucking whatever. Like, you
All right,
just-
all right. Fine, I'll put her on the list.
yeah, don't you lie.
And oh my god, I really can't remember her
Good
name.
show.
But, from Yu Yu Hakusho with the blue hair.
Oh,
She's-
Botan.
Botan,
Botan.
thank you. I
Botan,
knew
top tier.
something
Are
with
they
top
gonna say
tier.
Keiko? And I was like, eh.
No,
Keiko's a
Botan.
little-
I love Botan. But I couldn't remember her name, but I was
I mean,
like, oh my god. I know
Keiko's
she's
great,
there.
but like,
No, Keiko's great, but I think
And-
Botan is the top of that.
And
we're
list.
talking-
Kuwabara's sister.
Kuwabara's sister.
Oh, the older one?
Kuwabara's sister.
Kuwabara-
I was gonna
sister.
say the
Hit me,
ice
hit me with
sister.
her. Nah,
Yeah.
she,
Oh, Hiei's
she,
sister?
Hiei's sister.
Yeah,
gets
his sister that
no,
Kurama's
no,
or
Kuwabara's
Kurabara's
sister
gonna bang.
who is like fully ready to fuck with this like mafioso like villain boss.
She sees this
like-
mafioso.
Ayo,
no,
sweetheart,
she sees
ain't
this
no.
mafioso guy who is not just a regular mafioso. He is a demon world mafioso who has people murdered at the drop of a hat. And she looks at him and she's like, I can
like
change him.
they see
I can
each
change
other.
him.
Fix him.
They see each other from a distance. They're both
Hubris.
smoking a cigarette, and they're like,
I'm gonna fuck that.
they just acknowledge each other, and it's just like this like drop of a thing that happens in this super well done tournament arc, right? And then you forget that it happens, and then it comes up a couple of more times where just these tiny little crumbs of this relationship that's building, and it's so out of nowhere, right? And then at the end, when like a shit's going down, they're like, oh, it's great.
Anyway,
Yu
Love
Hakusho's
Kuwabara's
amazing.
sister.
yeah,
Worth
Yu
watching.
Hakusho is amazing.
It is one
And
of the
the
best
end
shonen
does
of the
not
90s.
stick
Okay,
the
what
landing.
is it
but,
called?
You know,
Yu Hakusho.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
the
about
end
that.
does not stick the landing. But
I
you know.
thought it was fine.
I thought it was fine.
I
I
really
like
did
it.
not
I actually-
like
I'm
the
gonna
Seven
add- I'm gonna
Psychics
add
arc
one
at all.
more-
A lot of
I
people.
like the
Oh,
Seven
Seven Psychics.
Psychics.
That's
That's
the
like
best.
best. That it leads
that's the
into the
best
last
arc.
thing. Nah,
Seven Psychics.
I didn't like
Yeah.
the Seven Psychics all
I
that much,
love
and then when it
Seven
goes into that
Psychics.
last arc, the like whatever that
the
last
demon-
one is, did
demon
not
world
like
arc.
that one.
I'm gonna add one
Yeah,
more
I
waifu
actually
before
really
Kat
like
reads
it.
hers.
Yeah, say it.
I'm gonna add one more waifu before Kat reads hers, and it's MILF Hinata.
The MILF Hinata.
Oh,
Hinata.
that's
I
a good
think all
choice.
forms of Hinata are top tier.
Not
That
not the little girl Hinata.
No,
Like,
no, absolutely.
from
because-
Naruto.
Actually, absolutely, because that was my childhood cartoon.
She was my
crush.
childhood crush for sure, but as a 25-year-old man, she sure isn't.
I'm going to remember it fondly with the 14-year-old blinders on, and then
No,
look at
Hinata
no,
with
like,
a
look at
child.
me,
Because
is
when-
look
when
at
I-
MILF
when
Hinata
I
and
think
be
about
like,
the same
yeah.
way as like when I was a child me really was in love with Chloe Grace Moretz in like Kick-Ass and those movies.
Yeah.
And I don't like her anymore, but like childhood me still has the nostalgia of being like,
Oh,
I
she's-
liked her as a when,
she's
when we were the
still
same age, 'cause
gorgeous.
she's the same age as us.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
she was
she's
literally born
gorgeous.
in '97, so
Was she really?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's similar. She's either I think like
97
a,
or 96. She was
yeah, I
literally
think
born
she
in,
might be like a
that
year
era.
older than us,
Mm-hmm.
but that's it. Sorry, Kat, what's yours?
Yeah, okay, go
I
ahead.
don't know if I have 5, but so Amelia from ReZero.
Okay.
Not everyone's take, but
I respect.
I respect it. I respect
like
it.
all of them,
Me-
but I do like Amelia the
No,
best.
because Amelia had
But-
nothing in the first season, but got all of it in the second season, and then
Vice,
fucking Rem had
Different
nothing
version.
in the
She's
second
just
season.
Literally
got
nothing.
everything in the first. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I
But
think it's fair.
I do like
Just gonna go.
all
fucking
of
hang
them. I like
myself.
Amelia, Rem, and Rom. I mean, I could stick all 3 of them into my top tier, I guess.
Rom is
I'd just
underrated.
rather-
What about Beatrice?
I
Love
love
Rom.
Rom. No.
You're not Gart.
No.
Fucking no.
That's
Um,
Joey.
Oh, is it Joey?
It's Joey.
Yeah, it's Joey.
Stella from Chivalry of a Failed Knight.
Never seen that.
Me neither.
I liked it. There is incest in it, though.
Of course there is.
I
That's
will
just-
warn
it's an
you.
anime. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
It's anime. I've seen Game of Thrones. It's
But-
okay.
I've seen handshakers. I'm desensitized to it.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy the show. And I do really like Stella. I'm just scrolling.
Hey, I watched episode 4 of Game of Thrones.
Wow.
Wow.
Way to
Congrats.
go.
Oh,
It only
Oh.
took you
Took
what
5
a
months.
year?
You only have
6
like
months.
70 more to go.
I am gonna put 02 which I know Mike
Ugh.
hates Zero
Nope,
Two.
do not like Zero Two.
Yeah.
She's great.
But
I-
I also
I
apparently
really
like
that show
the
just not
objectively
good at
worst
the end.
girl in that show. So
You
Did you
did.
go?
You did like
Yeah.
the objectively
Ah,
worst girl in that show.
Even worse
She
choice.
is actually awful.
She's
I do
I
really
hate
enjoy
Zero
But
Two.
you know
She
what it
bothers
is?
me.
You know what it is? I guess I
Love
don't
Zero
like
Two.
any of the girls from the show because I didn't like the show.
The show
I
was.
thought the show was fine.
I liked the show. So
I like
Me
the
and Kat
first.
walked
I like
away
the
with it.
first
You
half
liked
of
it
the
more than
show.
I did, but I thought it
Mhm.
was fine.
yeah.
No, I didn't
And
like
then
the second
my
half.
last one is
got to that
Nino
second
from
half and I was
Quintessential
like-
Quintuplets.
Oh yeah.
Best girl.
The one
Okay.
you and Kieran
Is
talked
that,
about.
is that worth watching? I wanted to watch.
I've
it.
heard it's.
Yes.
I've heard it's good.
Please watch it so we can talk about it.
Hey, when
Okay.
Kieran moves up here, we can have an episode about it. I'll watch it, and then if you watch it, we can at least have
I'll
some.
bring in
Yeah.
my Nino figure.
Yeah. And anyway, Colin,
Alright.
who are
Yeah,
your
they look
picks?
cute.
All right, so got to
She's
start
best
off
girl.
obviously
But
then
I'm curious
with
who everybody would
Megami.
pick.
Right.
Megumin from ReZero, naturally.
From ReZero?
From
From
Konosuba.
I was like, I didn't know she was in that. All right.
Yeah. Bulma because she's the OG, she's the classic, and I think she's just the goat of Dragon Ball.
18.
I respect. I
Ooh.
respect.
That's who I was trying to think of.
Oh.
Bulma.
Okay.
No,
No,
Android
Android
18.
Android 18, yeah.
Wait, but
With
I
the
think,
one with Krillin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I-
Yeah. How you doing?
I think,
Anyway.
I
She's
think,
the only one that has a kid and still kicks
no,
ass.
I think Mike is posing a very strong argument with 18 though. Bulma 18. Who do you think is
Okay,
superior?
Let me
18.
let me make my argument
18.
for Bulma.
Okay.
She's been there since chapter 1.
She is
has-
the OG.
She is the OG. She has been helping them by being like the most useful person outside of the fighters since the very beginning through to the end.
True.
She is just constantly coming back to be MVP of the team. Except that one time 17 was MVP. Let's give respect our boy there. He's literally nicknamed MVP 17 in
That
the Super
rules.
Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, he literally is the MVP of an entire tournament arc of multiple universes.
Yeah.
Fucking rocks.
Yeah, 17 had the best fucking comeback in Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah, it was great. He was gone forever, and then they were like, "We need people for this tournament."
I'm
Hey, 18, your brother's still around?
I'm
they were like,
so
"Oh,
happy
yeah."
Toyotaro was just like, yeah, I'm gonna bring 17 and 18 back as like fairly
And
regular
he has one of the
characters.
most
Wait, so
raddest
I-
movesets ever.
He does.
I'm not very educated about Dragon Ball, but
Yeah.
Trunks is Bulma's kid.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, whose kid is 18?
She's
She's
not anybody's
she's
child.
she's not like a fighter. or anything.
17 and
She's just a like
17
All
and
right, so I
18.
think Bulma wins because she gives birth to Trunks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Trunks is,
Bulma- but
and
Bulma
Trunks
also-
is my favorite
but
character.
Yeah,
Bulma also
but
gives
18
that-
could break my goddamn neck at a moment's
Yeah, but
notice.
also-
Bulma could break my
but
neck
Bulma-
if she
Bulma
really
has,
wanted
uh,
to.
She really can.
Bulma has bra, and she does actively nothing, so net zero.
No. But also, there is
zero.
only
Yeah, and Chi-Chi has Gohan and Goten,
Yes,
and
but
they
there's-
do everything.
You forgot one thing. There's only 2 people in the entire universe the Saiyans are afraid to get hit by, and it's Chi-Chi and Bulma.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's true.
But also, I don't see
Oh,
Chi-Chi.
dude, what are we talking about? Chi-Chi's best waifu.
No,
What the fuck
no.
are you all
No.
talking
Okay,
about?
I always
Chi-Chi's
liked
great.
I liked
Chi-Chi's great.
Chi-Chi
Chi-Chi's
more
great,
than
but she's
Bulma
not on the
personally
same level
beforehand,
as
but then there was
Bulma or
18 and
18.
18's over.
Oh, 18 is the best waifu, but Chi-Chi's the
I-
close
I
second.
think-
throw
I
it.
think-
Also
Chi-Chi's my
throw in
second.
21 is cool.
Colin
21 is
convinced
cool.
me.
21
Bulma,
was the
but
fighters
18
one?
is a
Yeah.
close.
But I
close-
was
close
100%.
second.
100%.
Oh, I would.
That's a tough one.
Oh, I would put 21 on the list.
Yeah, 21's on the list.
Oh, yeah, 21's on the list.
Because
all
she's
right.
a shape shifter.
Sure.
Sure.
You know what? That could get.
Yeah,
that
we'll
could
go
get
with that.
freaky. We could get freaky with that.
Anyway, what's your fucking list?
Which one's Girl
number
Majin Buu?
Number three. I'm sorry,
ahead.
Rachni from
Oh,
Monster
from Monster
Musume.
Musume.
Yeah.
Actually,
No, have a
are
good
you
night.
not
Which
fucking
one's
with
that
me?
one?
Nope.
You're
I'm not
actually
No,
putting
he's
her on third.
I'll put her
Literally
third.
in love with her.
I love
is
that.
that
The spider.
spider?
That's the
Spider.
spider one
Yeah.
from
Spider.
Monster
That he's in
Musume.
love
No,
with.
thank you.
Yeah, love that
I-
spider.
you know,
girl.
Colin, I always had to question you as a person, but I always thought your top 5 waifus would at least be real. and the fact that you're actively putting Arachne on your actual
You have to
top
put
5
one in there.
waifus,
You have to put one.
Nah,
in
that's a
there.
gun to the head right there. No, thanks.
I've lost
Uh-uh.
I've lost the little respect for you I've had.
No, you didn't. Anyways,
I think it's a good choice. She's cute.
thank
Anyway,
you.
number 4.
Rem.
Okay.
This is not in order, by the way. Rem,
Right, yeah.
Same reasons you said she's amazing. She's wonderful. Look at her. Great. Wonderful. Love blue hair. If you couldn't tell from my Bulma pick. And then finally, I'm putting power. The
Okay.
world is going to know about power supremacy as soon as Chainsaw Man finishes.
I'm gonna look
When
her
I
up.
was
I'm gonna
at-
look
because
up
everybody's
the
gonna love
picture.
When I
everybody's
was
gonna love
at,
Makima when it comes out. They're wrong.
Anime New York City, everybody, there were so many people dressed as the other girl.
Makima, right?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
That's
And
why.
not-
No.
And not power. And I was so surprised.
There's a
by
very
that.
specific reason why
there's-
people dress up as
Oh,
her instead.
oh,
There's
I
two
know.
specific reasons. One, people think she's best girl and they think she's gonna be the
and
best
people want to
girl.
get domed.
Yes.
And people want
They did in fact
They want
have
people
the
to have.
leashes.
Yeah, they sure want to be
Yep.
on leashes and have her step on them.
They sure
That's
did
sure
have
why.
that at the convention.
Oh boy, I didn't even
So-
consider that.
What do you mean you didn't consider
Are you
that?
changing your list?
Did you not?
No.
Oh,
no,
oh.
not
Did you
that.
not read the chapters near the end there?
No. I meant more like I didn't think people were going to be doing that in cosplay at conventions,
Oh,
but then
okay.
I thought about it for 2
I
seconds.
was about to be
and I
like,
was
have you ever been to a convention,
No,
bro?
no, I just didn't think about it, and then I realized, oh shit, people are 150% going to be doing that.
Colin,
they
Colin,
sure
Colin,
were.
Those
Colin,
Mockingbird
sure were.
cosplayers are
Colin.
going to get paid so much on
Colin,
the side from due
you-
to just give her $5 and be like,
You
step
used
on
to
me.
go to conventions to do the Homestuck meetups.
Fair.
You should know the truly dark and seedy sides of a convention.
Colin,
You're right.
You're gonna tell me that best girl in fucking Chainsaw Man isn't Kabani's car?
Oh, Kobani's car gets fucked.
How dare you? The best girl.
Kobani?
Okay,
Kobani?
so
Kobani's
the,
kind of the best
the
girl.
great the
She is
greatest
kind of the
part
best-
about this
she's
this
kind
anime.
of the best girl. I want
Yeah,
to tell
so
you
What
that.
do you mean by that?
So there was a
Do
popularity
you mean
contest.
she was literally
No, no,
fucked?
so there was a popularity
No, no, no.
contest.
The bar was
as,
fucked.
as most shonen have popularity contests while they're coming out. And people just set in votes, and,
Their
and you
favorite
you
characters,
find
yeah.
out and it helps. It also kind of helps the author realize know what people are liking and how to play into things.
Sometimes
they don't really
characters
always
in
pay attention
more
to
if
it.
they're in their
Yeah.
popularity lists.
And just random part in the story, this girl, this character, her car just gets fucking destroyed, and she's all like sad about it. And then the popularity contest came out afterwards, and it was like number 6 in the popularity contest of her car specifically.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, can I replace somebody on my list right
Yeah,
now?
go for
Yeah.
it, bro.
I just thought of somebody. Let's get what's her name from Only Yesterday out there because she's too precious, and let's put in Hanajima from Fruits Baskets, bro.
Okay.
Hanajima,
Okay.
dude.
Alright.
Are you serious with that right now? Hanajima?
Is that the Waves girl?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I love her.
I love her, dude. She
This is how I
rules.
work for
I
all
agree.
anime. I watch so much anime that just what their shtick
just
is. I
blend
can't remember
together.
their names.
Yeah.
I
Wait,
love
Hanajima,
Hanajima.
Is Reen on your list?
Rin? No.
And you
No.
spoiled for that episode, brought it up, and yet she ain't even on this list.
She ain't in the
You-
top 5.
You didn't
You
even
kidding me?
care about her that much.
Oh.
You gotta bring it back up.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Spoilers
We
again.
could have had this just in
Blip
this
it
little.
again.
Yeah.
Dude, I
Just-
just you saw how you saw how I bleeped
Blip
it
it
out.
again.
You saw how I bleeped it out. It
I
was
didn't.
cool.
You didn't send it to me yet.
Oh, it's uploaded.
Oh, well, you have to send me the audio.
Oh yeah, I do.
Speaking of things you gotta send me, episode 29.
He
Thought I
did.
You did?
He sure did.
Yeah.
That
Like
day.
Like
Did
that
you?
day.
All right. Whoops. Never mind. Thank you.
You're doing
Um,
great, guys.
Yeah.
You're doing great.
Finish your
Yeah,
list.
we got
Did
10
you
minutes
finish?
left, so we
Yeah,
should
he
probably
I
did.
think you
wrap
finished.
it
I think
up.
you did
Oh
finish.
yeah.
Oh wait,
How
do,
about
wait, do we have?
Spice and Wolf,
Oh yeah,
guys?
wait, we
Yeah,
never,
remember we
nobody.
were talking about Spice
we
Wolf?
didn't
yeah,
do our
we do
ratings.
need to wrap it up.
What's
We have to
that
rating
show
and
Yeah,
that
the
we
ratings.
watched?
Yeah,
It's
oops.
almost like it was so boring that we didn't have enough.
Hey,
to talk
to talk
about.
about.
this isn't
This
the
is
only
the
show that
first
we've
time-
done. No, it's not true. That's
Yes,
true.
it is.
Nah, we had.
What?
I don't
What
remember. We
other show?
went on a tangent at the near the back end of another show. I
I
don't remember
don't
what
think
it was.
so. I think
we
we've
did.
always
We
just-
definitely tangented
We've
not as hard as
absolutely
this.
not
tangented
like
on something.
this.
with handshakers.
We spent
don't think
15
so.
minutes talking about our best waifus.
20
We have
minutes.
absolutely talked about
Anyway,
tangented about
We need to
something.
give ratings and
See how
whether
it's
you
always
recommend
Mike
it or not.
shows?
So Sage,
Oh
So,
yeah.
Sage.
Wait, what am I doing?
Rating and
Oh,
out of
recommend or
10
not,
and
okay.
recommend or not.
Rating out of 10, I would say is like 6.5 out of 10. I would say if you can get past the really boring merchant talk, I would recommend watching it. If you can't, you don't need to see it.
Okay.
I'm giving it a 5. Would I recommend it? No. I don't think it's a bad show. Handshakers is a bad show, but at least I was entertained
It's
by
like watching a car
Handshakers.
crash is handshakers.
Exactly.
what
Like
did you give it, Kat? Sorry,
5.
5.
So like it kept me in it, whereas this was misery.
This was like watching.
Watching it, trying to get through it was bad. I definitely would not have stayed with it if it was
Some
my
might
own.
say I'm in the business of misery.
Just take it from the top. She's got a body like an hourglass, sticking like glass, sticking like a clock.
You're doing great.
Hourglass, yeah.
Yeah.
you know that hourglass, yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, sorry.
I definitely would not have stuck with it. But again, it's not a bad show. I can see how people would like it. I just personally did not. So that's me.
Your fucking thing is just.
I know.
falling
It's just
apart on
I'm
you.
just gonna hold it off. I'm just gonna hold it open. It's fine. Yeah. So I'd probably give this around like 5, 6, 5.
5,
Yeah,
6, 5,
5,
5, 5.
yeah, 5.
Who am I kidding with that?
Who am I?
It's a
Yeah,
five.
fuck that shit. It's a 5. All right, but anyway. I'd probably give it around a 5. I found the characters to be incredibly interesting and well written. I found the world building to be really good, but I found everything else to just be incredibly boring to me. I don't think it's a bad show at all. I would honestly genuinely struggle to say it's a bad show because it's really not. It's a really well made show. It's very competent. It's just not for me. I would say it's
Right.
it's
Not your
definitely
cup of
not
tea.
my cup of tea. It's not for me. What I recommend it. Listen, if you're really into like finance or like economics or just in the mood for a really really good love story, I would
You
recommend
could
it.
watch better.
You could watch better
I
probably.
would not say go for it for the love story.
I think it's a good love story. I think it's a really good love
definitely
story.
For
I also think it's a good love
I think
story.
it's a good love
Yeah.
story, but
I-
I do agree that you can definitely
I
find
think
better.
it was too mild. So like if you're specifically looking for romance,
but
I
if they're
don't think it was
slow burn,
enough.
it's
Yeah,
good.
I like it that it feels more real.
I guess I personally
Yeah, but if you're
I like
looking
to
for a
torture
romance
myself.
anime, that's not gonna.
I like to
cut
torture
it for
myself
you.
with a slow burn.
Mm.
I want to be 60 years old before they get together.
I don't like that.
No.
I don't like that at all.
There's like
yeah, you do love.
there's
Sailor
like the
Moon.
shonen slow
Yeah.
burn, and
Yeah.
then there's like this.
Yeah.
I feel like that it's a step up.
You know, it's definitely it's like this is I would equate
They
this
held hands.
this slow
Yeah.
burn.
They kissed,
They kissed.
Yeah.
I would equate this slow burn to
and
like
they said I love you
to
more than
most
shonen ever does.
That's
to most
true.
fanfics slow
Season 2.
burns. About the same pacing.
Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, if you're in the mood for a really good love story that's kind of like a slow burn, or if you're really into finance, if you're an economics dude, check this out. I personally, I don't know. That's my best recommendation. So I guess yes, but it's not if it's not like if you're into something that's like way more energetic, fast paced, like, and not about economics, I wouldn't recommend it. So,
It has
Um,
fast-paced moments.
but like
doesn't.
consistently, I'm saying.
No, it
Alright.
doesn't.
It does.
The church wasn't that fast paced, and that was like the most fast paced.
Yeah, honestly, dude, running through the sewer section was even slow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it was not
Alright,
fast
whatever.
paced.
What about when they're chasing down when he gets on Holo and they chase down the fucking like army of
Just
people
because
and
she's
attack them.
running really fast doesn't
No, but during
actually make it
that
fast
whole fight
paced. Like it's not.
Alright, whatever.
Hey,
yeah.
in all 25 episodes, there's one moment where they weren't slow. Therefore, this is not a slow-paced
No,
show.
no,
is,
no,
the, is the argument.
But
you're-
anyway, go
is
ahead.
What you're trying to say. I think I would give this kind of like a 6.5 or a 7 kind of thing. Like
6.5.
I'm gonna settle in on a 6.66 for funsies there.
Oh, I like
Hero.
it.
For funsies.
For funsies. It's not a bad show whatsoever. Like it's a really good like story. It's just so dense that you do have to sit down and give your full attention to this story that is then also going to be a slow burn romance with a lot of varied information on this one very very specific topic. And it's not something I can recommend super easily because it's like, oh hey, are you super interested in the economics of feudal Europe? As a
Feudal
merchant,
Europe.
feudal Europe.
But he's
what was
right,
It
it
was
is
supposed to be
feudal
Europe,
Europe.
right?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is like still when you have
I've only
serfs
ever
and, like,
thought of
merchant
feudal
class.
as like an Asia like word, like feudal Japan, not Europe.
No.
I know what
feudal,
it implies.
yeah.
I just
They
I've
had
never,
The
feudalism
whole
everywhere.
concept, yeah, the whole concept of feudalism
I know,
originated.
but
thank
I've
you,
only
I
ever,
felt crazy
I've
for a
only ever,
second there.
I've only ever
No.
heard it in the context of like Japan, and
No,
so
you're
it just
right.
was odd to me hearing it.
No, you're right.
I guess that's
You're
right.
right.
That's all I
I was
meant.
just
I
using
wasn't
that
saying
word.
it was wrong. It was just odd to hear.
I was definitely for a few minutes. I was like, this is feudal, not Japan, because it's just confusing because you're watching anime.
Right.
Where was I there? Yeah, so it's hard to recommend it because of that. But if you got somebody who's like interested in history like that, it's like, yeah, here I would recommend this. But honestly, if we weren't watching for this and I did stick through the first season, I wouldn't have gotten to the second season because it's just too much. And it did enough wrapping up at the end of the first season for me to be happy with the story.
So, yes or no?
Would I recommend it?
Yeah.
Not really.
Okay.
Like very.
Yeah, not really.
Not really.
Half-hearted
If
recommendation.
somebody was like, "Man, I really want a dense educational romance," I got this story for you.
Yeah,
Boy, do I have
Boy,
the perfect
howdy,
anime.
the spicy
Boy.
will fill that niche.
Are you,
Boy, howdy.
Do you like,
Do you like
wolf
mature
girls?
tsunderes? Do you like wolves? Have you ever looked at a wolf and thought, if she had
Oh!
legs and a human face, I'd fuck that?
Wait,
If
you know,
she has
Spicy.
Are you a
legs,
furry
Can
who's
we
interested
that?
in
Yeah.
economics?
Are you a furry, but not really? really? Are you not out
Are
as
you
a furry?
who's into economics?
can
is
I
the
say a
funniest
quick
fucking
comment?
thing I've
Pseudo
ever heard in my
furry?
life.
So in the I'm so sorry. I know we're wrapping up, but this I just
A
remember
Goofy
this.
movie ruined it for most people.
And it was really funny. In the first
started them young.
episode,
Movie's so
where
good,
she
though.
is
I love it.
howling,
Roxanne?
but in her human form, in that first episode where she's howling in her human form, the first thing that came to my mind is, have you ever seen that thing on like of this interview of the guy and he's like, in every aspect but
Yes.
physical,
I
I
am
am a
a
wolf.
wolf.
Run on all fours. Is like the fucking thing. Yeah.
That is the first thing that came to my
that
mind.
reminds me of when I thought that was the most ridiculous, stupid shit I had ever seen when they put a real howling wolf just over this anime girl. And it made me laugh really hard because I just was not expecting them to actually do that. But go
I
on.
feel like they
finish.
could have done a little more, like maybe just make her like maybe have her close her mouth and
I
open
don't-
up like a sharp teeth kind
Yeah,
of thing.
I don't
Maybe
know.
put a little more ferocity on her face
Right.
just to
Yeah.
show she's
because it
drawing
was just
from
like
the wolf.
the regular.
Because it's just this cute anime girl goes,
Yeah, and then but it was like a ferocious fucking howl, and I was like, oh, I was not expecting them to do that.
Anyway, hi.
The
How do
one
you like
person who
this,
liked
Mike?
the show.
Hey, my rating's a 10 out of 10. Perfect anime. Nothing's perfect, but it's
Close enough for
it's a
you?
masterpiece to me. And boy howdy, would I still recommend it.
You rated both seasons a 10?
Yeah.
Wow.
Ugh.
And
Mistake.
I like everything about it. And you don't need to like economics to like this show, because I sure don't and didn't before and still don't now. But I like the show for what it tells me, and I really like the characters. I like the music. Everything I said in the fucking general opening. I think that it does a lot of things really fucking well, and also Holo's the fucking top tier, and I just really like her and Lawrence as characters going through the world. I can see you in my periphery. I really like I don't know. I like everything about it. I like the music. I like the slow moments. I like the faster moments. I don't know. There's a lot of things that I really like about it that I can understand why people don't. I'm not telling you guys are wrong. But it's
That's weird
just,
coming from Mike because he usually does tell us that we're all wrong all
I mean,
the
Yeah.
time.
I mean, it's objective as shit. This show is very objectively I could see why you could either love it or hate it. I get it. I would say you're wrong if you think it's objectively a bad show. I would just be like, that's false.
Yeah.
But if you just don't like it, I mean, okay, that's fine. Like I said, I didn't think you would like it going into it, and you don't. I'm not surprised by that. I'm more surprised by Anthony not liking it. I thought he would. I thought it would be a little more his vibe, but whatever.
I did agree with you though when you were like, you're gonna love the characters, and I was like, yeah, no, you're right, I did. I loved the characters.
There's just a lot about it that I like, and yeah, it is not a show for everybody. When
Thought you
I've,
said this shit was a classic.
a lot of people consider it a classic.
Are classics supposed to be for everybody?
Not
No,
really.
I wouldn't
Really?
say that. I wouldn't say. Yeah, I wouldn't say classics are
So
for
what-
definitely
I've
everybody.
met people that
objectively
hate the
makes something
Titanic. The Titanic is a classic.
Titanic is a classic, and I
But
hate that
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
movie.
I'm
I've seen it.
or Forrest
That,
Gump.
yeah.
Forrest Gump's a classic. People fucking hate Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
So then, would a classic just be because so many people have seen it, kind of thing?
I think
Like,
once
what
I
makes a
think
classic?
I think what makes a classic is that it does a couple of things.
Thank
Yeah, it does a couple things. It gets itself firmly implanted in the pop culture lexicon, where it becomes super influential. It inspires legions of things past it, right? And that I guess enough people like it to where it could be considered a classic. It has to have that popular outreach, and then also I think time as well. The reason I mean, a lot of people consider Evangelion a classic, right?
Right.
And I know a bunch of people
you.
that don't like that show. So
But I would agree that it's a
but
classic.
when you
show.
look at Evangelion, you look at Cowboy Bebop and shit like that, and you see the things that came after it. It's yeah, no shit, it's influential. It's
like Akira is
Akira
a classic.
is
Right.
a classic. Forrest Gump's a classic. Titanic's a classic.
You
I
could-
fucking
you
hate
could-
Titanic, but I can acknowledge that
You
it's a
could probably
classic.
also argue maybe not the show itself, Future Diary, but it influenced a lot of shit. And maybe it's not necessarily a classic, but Yuna's probably a classic character just for the fact of how much fucking yandere she spawned from herself. So
Right, kind of like
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone would ever
Yeah.
be like Future Diary is a classic, but like you could
it's a
like yeah,
The-
but like
the
you could be like
character-
yeah,
I
but you could be
enjoy-
like
I love it,
like
but I don't think it's a
inspired a
classic.
lot of shit.
Right,
She could
like,
be
kinda-
maybe put in that category.
Had
Yeah.
that trope kind of pop off.
Right. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone would really be like, yeah, she's a classic character, but I feel like there could be an argument there where like I feel like this show is like yeah, you guys didn't like it, but a lot of people either like the show or maybe
But okay,
Holo
so
and
based on the
herself, so
definitions
that-
that the table have like said for like classic, I don't think that the show would be a classic because I've never even fucking heard of it. Like all these other things that like are
I
classics,
agree.
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
I think we're
maybe it might
misinterpreting.
be more of like
Heard
a
of
niche classic, maybe.
Like-
I would say that I think we might be misinterpreting it. You could say either it's a masterpiece or a classic, right? Because like masterpiece, right? You can say like, okay, this is objectively fan-fucking-tastic, right? This is like a 10 out of 10 show. It's incredible, but down the line might not be remembered as like fondly or as influential as something like Akira or Cowboy Bebop
Yeah.
or Evangelion.
I was actually
Classic has that lasting power,
Right.
has that staying power.
Well,
Like
I think-
people
I think
aren't
that the show
dedicating
might
people
end up-
aren't dedicating conventions to Spice and Wolf.
I
You
think
know what I
the
mean?
show
also
might
thinking
might
about
end
this
up
the
more in
other-
the
yeah.
underground or niche classic than an
Mhm.
overall community-wide classic.
Yeah,
Like,
and I
was also
Holo
thinking
is
about this.
Holo is usually, I feel like, brought up a lot by people, but I think the show as a whole would probably be, I guess, more in like a niche classic.
Right. And there's plenty of things that are like masterpieces that have fallen into relative obscurity.
Like,
Like-
I'd argue like Scott Pilgrim Before It Blew Up would be like a niche classic.
I would say- I would
don't
say-
know
I
if
would
I
agree
would
with that.
call
It
it a
kinda came
classic
back up, but-
immediately
I would
like
agree with that.
Like it was
I
it was
mean-
niche and it was popular. It was like the popular niche, but it wasn't exactly a classic off the bat. It became a classic.
Not off the bat, but I feel like the like niche community the like kind of made it its own.
It kind of became an instant classic of sorts, yeah.
Right, that's
but
what I'm saying.
I mean, but even like that wasn't, this wasn't an instant classic. You want to look at classics? I was looking at just recently. I was thinking about Bleach because I was looking at the current state of Shonen Jump, and the inspiration from Bleach runs so fucking deep on what's coming out right now. There's like 10 stories that are just their own iterations of Bleach, and then it's coming back and it's
Yeah.
being huge right now.
I can't disagree with you, but I've also never had a drive to read Bleach or watch Bleach.
Oh,
in my
dude,
life.
I started reading Bleach. It's fucking awesome.
I'll probably get around
still
to
in
it for
parts
that
I've
new
seen.
season.
Oh,
but-
dude, it's
but,
worth it. I'm in the Soul Society arc.
I mean,
But-
honestly, if
Hey,
you want to
bro.
talk like between the difference between like classic and masterpiece, like you look at Resident Evil, right? Resident Evil 1. No, I mean, not even. Like Resident Evil 1 and 4.
Resident Evil 5 masterpiece, classic.
Resident
10
Evil-
out of 10 game.
Resident Evil
perfect
1
thing.
and 4, but like here's the thing, right? Like the
Those
reason
are
those are considered classics, like you can see like the through line between like when Resident Evil 4 came out and like the state of like video games today. Right? Resident Evil 4 was the first game that did like the off-center like camera angle for third-person shooters. First game that did precision aiming, like when you look down the sights and you see like a little like cursor for for video games. Like the
Was it
first
the
game,
to do that?
first ever to do that. Yep. First ever do that. For that, first to do the off-center camera angle, first to do like multiple re-releases on everything. Like you could see like the through line between like that and the rest of gaming today. You wouldn't have Gears of War. You wouldn't have friggin' what's another incredible third-person shooter? Gears of War,
Halo.
Last of Us. You wouldn't have Last
That
of Us
Halo's
without
first
it.
person, what am I saying? Never mind.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have Gears of War. You wouldn't have Last of Us. You wouldn't have literally like any third-person shooter without Resident Evil 4. Same with Resident Evil 1. Resident Evil 1 comes out in 1996. It's like it's still to this day, if you're playing a survival horror game, like some rogue strand of like weird corrupted DNA of Resident Evil 1 is still in those games.
Yeah, dude.
Like that's like a classic. That's what I mean by like that's a classic.
also
Dude, they
think
really revolutionized fixed cameras in hallways that you move into that changes every time you change location. It's the best.
In 96?
God,
Yeah.
do I hate that?
That's the fucking worst part.
I hate it.
I
so
also
much.
think like masterpiece is way more subjective of a word
That too.
because like you were saying, that classic is something that becomes part of like the general population's lexicon,
Mhm.
whereas masterpiece can change from person to person.
For sure.
Like I personally think Twilight is a masterpiece. I know it's a fucking
Sorry?
wild garbage
I'm
storm.
sorry.
but
I agree with you.
Love Twilight.
Twilight
I've
is a
loved it
masterpiece.
forever.
We're gonna
And
talk
I-
about that another episode.
Let's talk about that.
All
another
4
episode.
Yeah.
books, all 5 movies, all of it absolute
There's 5
masterpiece.
movies?
Sure are.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right,
There's
we're
4 books.
definitely talking about that
Yeah.
some other
We
time.
sure
I gotta
goddamn
watch
are.
them,
Oh
though,
my God,
so
I
we can
love
talk
Twilight
about
I
it.
so
can't. You and me
much.
were on the
Yeah.
same
Hey,
team,
yes.
dude. Yeah, let's
Wait,
go.
I've
we
read
are.
all
I
the
gotta
books.
watch
We
it.
are.
Let's
We
do
are
it first,
over.
too.
So
Well,
we're gonna
I
end
think
it
they're
here.
all
Well, I
Yes.
gotta
Yeah.
tell everybody.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say. So let's find out what you're picking.
All right, so you kept it very educational with this one, so I decided that we're gonna keep it educational by going to school.
Such an asshole.
Prison School, that is. We rolled a die on the next episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we filmed them out of order.
So because we
Which,
filmed
by
this
the
out of
way,
order.
out of probably the next few episodes after these are gonna be probably jumping around
Yeah,
in
sporadic.
style and whatnot
Yeah.
because there's a lot of shit going on in our personal lives.
It's also
We're probably-
holiday time.
Yeah, and it's
holiday
holiday
time.
time.
Holiday
for
time.
us currently.
We're moving sets.
We're
Yeah,
moving
we'll be
sets.
Essentially is what we're
Colin's
doing.
moving the house. I'm moving into a place, so we're still gonna probably have episodes, but they will probably look a little more sporadic than normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I decided to
We're all just
put
be sitting on the floor at Mike's place.
Yeah.
for one of them.
Eating
Beanbags.
dry ramen. Yeah, eating bags of dry ramen.
I was like, I'm gonna put one bad show on a list of 6 shows.
No,
and then
you
roll.
put 3 bad shows on there.
What were
Yeah,
the
but I
other
put one
shows?
objectively bad show.
What were the other shows?
The other shows, it was
You
I
had
think I saw-
Konosuba.
I had Konosuba,
Nambika.
I can't believe you just didn't. pick
Konosuba, Devil's a Part Timer, Excel World, Nanbaka, Akame ga Kill, and then Prison School.
Oh, Akame ga Kill
He's
was
not
really
choosing
good.
Konosuba because I said I wasn't gonna pick it because I figured Colin was gonna pick it, and he took exception to that and was like, "Well, now I'm not gonna pick it."
It's
and
a
one
bit
of
of a
us.
it's a bit of a spite thing.
You guys are such assholes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I didn't. I
needed
didn't do
to
it.
finish it.
I was absolutely going to just pick Konosuba,
You
and I would.
should've.
I mean,
I
I'm
wish
willing.
you did.
I'm willing to switch, but I think Cat's already
No, it's
started.
too late.
watching.
Oh,
It's
no,
too
you
late.
can't.
Nah, I
Once
already
you
started
made
Prison
the
School.
choice, you can't
It's
change
too
it.
late.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
almost done.
I really am sorry. I wanted to.
I
do
thought you already
Konosuba.
finished it.
No, right after I said that, I didn't watch another episode.
Oh.
Like right after I said that episode I was currently watching, it
Although
just didn't watch it.
realistically, we should watch those sooner.
went and
'cause,
played Dead
Yeah,
by
yeah,
Daylight
I'm gonna watch
instead.
it. soon.
Prison School is the kind of story you watch with the doors locked with headphones on.
Oh
It-
yeah, definitely.
It's
I'm gonna
hard.
just watch it in my closet.
Yeah, it's hard.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, watch it in the closet. Yeah, it's hardcore etchy a bit, and it's very intense with what it does, but it plays into the comedy of that. I felt very well. I also watched it 6
Hey, you
years
like
ago,
anime,
so I
Titty?
don't remember.
The show got a lot of it.
It got a lot of it. It gets weird, and it's funny.
It's got too much titty. I personally
Too
don't
much?
like it
It
when
does
they're
got a little.
too
It's
big.
too.
Oh,
There's
Oh
one-
yeah, yeah. Me and
I
Sage
don't
talk
like
about this
that
all the time. The
either.
aesthetics.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes too big
Yeah,
titties, too big
wait.
titties.
There's
it's
one
too big
character.
titty.
There's one
and
character
and,
with
That
and
one
it's
with
the
the fucking,
constant.
like,
Yep,
shirt,
and
yeah.
it's the constant.
Oh,
I've seen a picture of her.
It's
Yeah.
too much
Yeah, there's
titty.
sometimes there's too much, and
You're
anime
right. I
doesn't
don't
think
like
there
that. I
is,
like
but
it.
there is.
So-
It's not.
I like
it's
a
not
nice
good.
proportionate
I agree.
anime titty.
Anyway, that's the pick. So you
Uh,
have
yeah, watch
5
these. Watch
episodes.
these 5 boys get
5
tortured
weeks.
for being perverts.
Yeah, and that's
too.
our thing. Here's the graphic for all of our ratings together, and yeah. So if you're watching us on YouTube, thank you. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you're listening to us on any of the streaming services, don't forget to fucking like, review, whatever the other things are. Follow. Don't forget to check out Super Milkshake on
When
YouTube.
is this video coming out by? Like sometime mid-January, give or take.
Around there
I will have a new video out by then,
Yay!
so check it out, or it should already be out by
in
this
about
time.
5 weeks.
So yeah, it'll already be out. So check it out.
Cat the Moonstar on Twitch. Are you still streaming?
I stream
getting back
about
to it?
once a month right now. But I should be changing positions at my job next month. So by the time this comes out, I should have already changed positions at my job. So I should have more time. So I will get back into streaming and hopefully be able to do like 3 days a week.
Nice.
And I think that's everything. So you got 5 weeks to watch Prison School, or don't. I mean,
You
I'm
don't
not
have
going to
to.
fault anyone if they don't. Some people aren't into ecchi. It is what it is.
It's too much sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all about it.
It was
but,
too
it's
much
fine.
episode 2.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. By
That
the
one
way,
part-
when you brought that up, I was like, all right, well, that feels like it's further than any show that's further than High School DxD ever went. It is.
DxD is just. Yeah, it is
Its own
further,
beast.
but the way that DxD goes about it, we're not talking about this. We're leaving.
We'll
We've
get
been
into
too
it
long.
Gotta go
another
home.
day.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So that's everything. And hey, thanks for watching and listening. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.